For many of us, work is a big part of our lives, but it's important not to let it get so big that it becomes the death of us.
Paul. Hey Mark.
Hello, how you doing?
Good to see you. I'll switch in a few minutes. Yeah, just all there, yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Paul Losty is 43 years old and runs a hairdressing salon in Finglas, Dublin. He snacks on the run, never takes a lunch break and is seriously stressed.
My health has been decreasing slowly, but I'm not addressing it, specifically because I'm conditioned to work and not to stop.
He needs to get control of his life now before it's too late. Now, I've got just 8 weeks to try and help Paul strike a better balance between looking after his business and looking after himself. And hopefully that's going to add years to his life. Tomorrow, Paul is going to have a complete health check, but first I wanted to check his stress levels.
I don't deal with stress very well.
Put the 2 shampoos back in the window. See them 2 shampoos, the ones we were using, back in the window, okay?
You've got to train people.
And get some towels for here.
You've got to be the accountant, you've got to be the supervisor, you've got to be the organiser. Hello, Profile Hair Group, Paul speaking. You've got to be on top of holidays, you've got to be aware of everything. So, yeah, it's quite stressful, yeah. Very stressful. Well, where are we all week?
The body needs some stress, but excess stress is related to 80% of all the major illnesses, including heart disease, immune disorders, ulcers and strokes. Paul's stress was also affecting his diet.
Okay, it's now 20 to 5. I haven't ate since 8:30 this morning, and this is my first food today.
It was never meant to be like this.
My dream was to build up a business and take a back seat, but that hasn't happened.
If Paul is going to increase how long he lives, it's vital he starts to deal with his stress. I needed him to visualise just what he was doing to his health. So this slinky is going to represent you, Paul, alright? This is when it's stressed, and then this is when you're relaxed. And the two, as the slinky does, they work hand in hand, they balance each other. So that it works perfectly, like this.
Brilliant.
Paul is not alone. At least 2/3 of Irish people regularly feel stressed. So that's when it's working well. That's, it shows that you need stress in your life, and also you need to balance it with being relaxed. But the problem happens is when the stress starts getting too much, as often happens with you, and it starts to warp, where it's just not getting a chance to relax. You can see how it's left with, well, permanent damage, basically. It is crude, but hopefully it does show how stress can affect your natural balance.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to address. Shall we see how well our slinky works now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. Very stressed. Man, you're fine. You're fine. Relax now, Paul.
One thing that encouraged me is that Paul has interests away from work. Horse riding is an excellent way of relieving stress and could add years to his life.
I literally turn off when I come up here. Don't worry about anything at all. Anything whatsoever. Bills or anything. And I find that it gives me great pleasure. Great relaxation.
My problem is going to be convincing him to make time to put his health before his business.
I don't seem to be able to condition myself to take time out to do these things.
Because you're just basically dedicated to working?
I suppose I'm a workaholic at some stage, you know.
You were telling me, in 15 years?
15
years,
many
holidays
I've had
did you have?
5 weeks holidays.
5 weeks holidays in 15 years?
Yeah.
Right, I think there's a few things we can work on there so that you're actually putting yourself first.
Yeah.
Paul.
Hi, pleased to meet you.
This is Eileen. Eileen's going to look after you. She's going to take some blood from you. I need to check what effect stress is already having on Paul's life expectancy. It was time for a thorough medical.
Now, Paul, do you mind tapping up there for me, please? Have you had a blood test before?
Yeah, long time ago. One I'm not particularly looking forward to is the blood test. I don't like blood tests at all, so...
It's a bit like the show bands and all that.
Yeah.
Or show people, I mean. Sorry, that's the worst of you. No.
Now it's getting serious. The first tests will check his blood for a variety of potential health problems, including diabetes, a disease which runs in his family. We also need to check the fat in Paul's blood, including cholesterol. High cholesterol can be genetic, and as his twin suffers from this, it's something I am concerned about. Paul's work stress and bad eating habits could also raise his cholesterol.
Do you ever get any chest pain, chest discomfort?
Yeah, it's just stress.
Stress, okay.
Just being a man.
It's a tough job, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is, yeah.
Wouldn't like to be a...
Glad you said it.
Paul's family also has a history of heart problems, so while we wait on the blood results, we test his heart. Heart disease is Ireland's biggest killer and kills more people below the age of 65 than any other disease.
Any pain or discomfort in the chest?
Little bit.
Little bit. Whereabouts do you feel it? Just across there. Does it feel like it's just because
Slow
you're
down.
breathing heavy?
You have enough, yeah?
Okay. Well done. Well done.
Not as easy as it looks.
No.
Stress can also cause hypertension, but Paul's blood pressure and heart are healthy. However, I am concerned about his fitness.
Just looking at the kidney.
An ultrasound confirms there are no problems with Paul's other major organs, and so far things are looking pretty good.
I'll bring this down here.
But a thorough examination by Dr. Kelly throws up other concerns. Paul has been dealing with his stress by comfort eating. By calculating his body mass index from his height and weight, we can tell this habit has had major consequences.
That correlates with a weight of 13 stone 4.
Paul's BMI is 32. That means he's clinically obese. Years of high-fat snacking are taking their toll on his health.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you're just 38 inches, okay? If you look down there, you'll see it's in the, what colour?
Can't see it.
It's in the red line, okay? The red line usually indicates
Obesity.
danger.
He basically said I'm about 3.5 stone overweight, and if I continue down the road I'm going, diabetes would kick in within the next 2 years.
Paul was dangerously overweight, and it was time to find out if his bad eating habits have had any effect on the fats in his blood. The results were in, and it wasn't looking good.
His physical examination was very satisfactory. Apart from his weight, this has mainly gone up in the last 2 years because of stress problems and work problems. He tends to binge when he's under stress.
Was there anything that showed up with his blood test, for instance?
Yes, on his biochemical profile, his total cholesterol level is raised at 6.6 with an LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, of 4.1.
So that's high as well.
And his HDL cholesterol is low.
Which
should be high.
you'd want it to be high.
Yeah, and he's beginning to develop signs of what I call rust out. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't watch himself, he's going to develop burnout.
The medical had confirmed what I suspected. If Paul wanted to live longer, he needed to deal with his stress now. Paul, I've got your results from the medical that you had yesterday. I hope it wasn't too traumatic for you.
No.
But the two things that really stand out, I think, are your weight and what they call the body mass index. And essentially what that is the amount of weight that you have for your height. With a body mass index of 32, Paul's weight could be reducing his life by nearly 10 years. The other thing that sticks out really is your cholesterol level. At 6.6, Paul's cholesterol is too high and could cause coronary heart disease or a stroke. And also what they call LDL cholesterol, which is sort of the bad type of cholesterol. You'd want to keep that below 3, and yours is up to 4. Stress and high cholesterol are a potentially lethal combination. I need Paul to realise that he could be taking years off his life. When you get stressed, you say you tend to snack on sort of sugary foods and things like that, and you might not exercise enough if you're not feeling great. We're going to look at some sort of activity that you can do quite easily that's going to make you just unwind and take the pressure off yourself. The second part is basically dealing with this. I mean, the cholesterol, I couldn't really have predicted was going to be raised, and I think it does need attention together with the extra weight that you're carrying. If cholesterol stays high and it's not tackled, again, that will be another factor that will contribute towards these diseases, heart disease, diabetes as well, possibly. If Paul doesn't change his lifestyle, I'm convinced he could become seriously ill within the next 10 years. Coming up, as Paul faces up to the truth.
Do you sit down for lunch
No.
at any
No.
day?
No.
No. Would you even go out of the shop
No.
to go for
No.
lunch?
Can I change how long he lives?
Just to the right.
Paul Lusty is 43 years old, and the stress of running his own hairdressing salon is threatening to drastically reduce his life expectancy. We've got 8 weeks to try to add the years back on. Yesterday, a full medical uncovered some potential health risks, including obesity and high cholesterol, caused by comfort eating to deal with stress. My plan over the next 8 weeks is to improve Paul's life expectancy by managing his stress and reducing his weight. I want him to cut down his workload and use the extra time to relax. I also want him to tackle his weight and cholesterol by increasing his activity levels and by following a low-fat, high-fibre eating plan.
Up. 50.
Today is day 1 of my plan, and it's all about finding ways to relax. Right, Paul, stress is the main thing that we want to deal with you, right? This is Qigong. It's one way of dealing with your stress. It might seem a bit strange at first, but just go with it. See what you feel. Let's go enjoy it. Come on. I've brought Paul along to a session of Qigong, which is a discipline within Tai Chi. Personally, I find martial arts a great way of reducing my stress, and I'm hoping Qigong will be something Paul can learn to do easily at home.
Stretching backward. Breathe out.
It's the first time I've seen Paul stand still, and I want him to do this for 30 minutes each day. He should feel the benefits almost immediately.
Do you feel anything?
Yeah, warmth.
Warm, very good. It means you build up the temperature, all right? The temperature, it means qi, all right? Warm, cold, heat qi is qi or tempering. The temperature can kill the germ and reach the immune system. All right? You will a little bit dry, isn't it? Yeah.
It's warm there now. Incredible.
You liked it?
Yeah,
What did you like about it?
When I came, I had a massive headache and I was stiff in the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally
Is it all
relaxed
gone
now.
now?
Yeah, totally relaxed now.
Yeah, and you're glowing as well.
Yeah, I could feel the heat.
You could feel all that.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel this
yeah.
sort of
It's
throbbing.
the slowing
in my
down,
hands.
as the guy said. The slowing down is
Yeah,
incredible.
all the movement is very
incredible.
slow,
Yeah,
graceful, and
yeah.
you're breathing as well.
Yeah.
Because I think one thing when you get stressed and anxious is you tend to sort of hold your breath and
Yeah,
you're always
yeah.
sort of tense and tight. And
Yeah,
this
no, I'd be
just
interested in doing it.
counteracts it. The old
Yeah.
slinky thing. Just you get stressed. This is relaxing the slinky.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
The Tai Chi would help Paul to relax, but it was now time to try and tackle the cause of much of Paul's stress, his business commitments. I've enlisted the help of Anne Coppins, a business coach who's worked with many small businesses.
Once you've set up your own salon and set up your own business, it's very common to want to be in control of everything, making sure the income is in, the staff is looked after, and how you do the job is always going to be slightly different than what the next person does.
Anne's experience allows her to immediately spot the areas that Paul needs to address.
Do you have a time that you allocate for breaks? Let's say between 10 and 11, everyone needs to have gone on a break.
We started say from 9 o'clock to say 11:30 for breaks,
Okay.
and then from day 12:30 to 3ish for lunches. Then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you always have lunch yourself?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Do you sit down for lunch
No.
at any day?
No.
No.
Have you just wiped down Mr. Daly there for me?
By observing Paul at work, Anne will be able to both build a picture of why his job is causing him so much stress and to recommend changes. As the boss, Paul is currently Chief Stylist, Head of Human Resources, Director of Finance and Marketing Manager.
This is here, that's the sign I was telling you about.
Okay.
You do them?
We do, yeah. We do indeed. No problem at all.
Paul's been his own boss for 15 years. Any changes Anne recommends are going to be difficult.
You want us to work on that image.
I'd like you to schedule one lunch break for half an hour and leave the shop. Can you do that?
Well, if we implemented it, yeah, I suppose I can, yeah. Yeah.
Then the second thing I'd like you to implement is a staff training plan, something more structured, because right now you're doing all of the work. And at least they will know then, okay, this is where I go from here, this is what I aim to aspire to. And you can then follow up giving them support in order to take some of the pressure of you having to do all of the work here off you.
Right, okay, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
You happy enough? You see no challenge?
There might be some hiccups, I can't deny that, because trying to, you know, change the routine I've had for so long, but I mean, I think it's quite a good step to take. Yeah.
Very good.
Well, the ideal situation would be that I'd get the staff up to a certain standard of hairdressing so they can actually take on more clients, so the workload is not as heavy on me.
Can you see that now?
No, not at the moment, no. Bobby, I'm off now. I'll see you in an hour, okay? All right, cheers, bye.
For the next couple of weeks, Paul tries to implement the plan, but there's been a major setback. Paul has given up on the Tai Chi because Sam is no longer teaching the group.
I found the Tai Chi fantastic, but when Sam wasn't doing it, it was useless. And then that goes back to then me being a perfectionist, where maybe if I stick with it, it probably would come good, but I didn't find it any good when Sam wasn't doing it, that's the truth.
If we're going to make any impact on Paul's life expectancy, it's vital he finds some form of exercise to replace the Tai Chi. And I've got just the thing. I just hope he likes rain.
The hardest part I find is actually realising that there is time there for you. I find that extremely hard. And letting go and walk and not worrying all the time what they're going to do and what they're not going to do.
Does that still get you? You still feel
of course.
A little bit stressed?
Yeah.
Exercise will reduce Paul's anxiety and stress, and combined with the eating plan will reduce his weight and could see his cholesterol begin to drop within weeks. I just hope the cycling proves more successful than the Tai Chi.
And stress and work has changed because with that management plan, I've taken on 2 new staff and I've done a new advertisement campaign and I'm having meetings with the staff every day. Well, I haven't lost the weight I'd like to lose,
but
it's slow.
That is going to take time. And I think, you know, in 4 weeks' time when I see you again, I think there's going to be a lot more changes. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Please God, yeah.
Should we take a sprint up to the end here? Come on! Come on! It's Halloween and Paul continues to get stuck into the plan. The new staff training programme is going well.
All we're doing is, we're literally just doing that. Okay? I'm quietly confident that I've got a structure in the shop now regards training, regards the staff that I want to attract to work with me are of a higher standard now than they were, say, 2 years ago. Even if you can, just go in like that with the scissors. Do you know what I'm saying? Put your hand in against the rubber and go in like that. I definitely feel less stressed, and some of the staff are saying I'm actually more relaxed in work. So stress management is, I'd say, is the biggest plus. Getting time to actually exercise is still a tiny problem, but it's getting better.
Paul has drastically reduced his work stress, but the biggest impact on his life expectancy will be if he can increase his exercise.
Tiny bit. In the last 3 weeks, I've set about taking a few days off work, going to the horse, going mountain biking. I was just looking after myself, taking time out. I find I'm not as stressed out, and also I'm starting to look at my business in a more positive way.
Go across the school again. Good man. Don't be swinging so much out of your rein and walk from your leg. Good man.
The work side of the plan seems to be going well. Paul has even begun to take time away from the salon to go riding again.
That's better, Paul.
The fact that he's taking time to ride is a huge step. His diet has also improved, and I'm confident if he can continue on this course, he will live a longer life.
Diet is going well, regards I've cut down on all biscuits. I used to eat a packet with a cup of tea, now I eat about 2. And I'm eating a lot of fish and chicken and things like that. I've just got to pick up on the exercise thing, but the whole programme of the time management and all that has learnt me a lot regards getting more time for myself, realising that there is actually time in every day for myself. Hey Mark.
Paul, hello.
How's it going?
Good to see you. It's the end of the 8 weeks, and today I'm here to let Paul know if he's made any difference to how long he lives. A medical confirmed that his stress, low fitness and poor eating habits were going to take years off his life. And for the last 8 weeks, Paul has been attempting to live a healthier lifestyle. Today, he'll find out how successful he's been. It's not all great news.
No.
There's a couple of things here that I just want to pick up on. Now, the weight, you have lost a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
But it's only 1 kilogram. All right. You've dropped 0.5 point in your body mass index, so you go in the right direction. And I'm glad that you're seeing this as a long-term thing. I mean, that was the idea. But there's still, I think, a fair bit of work to do.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
And again, just your blood test there, the cholesterol hasn't come down yet. I really want to see that coming down. So what we've done is we've typed in your figures from 8 weeks ago. And because of things like the weight not changing very much and the cholesterol not changing very much, we haven't got anything too drastic. I think at the most there, one of the calculators said 3 years. And that's taken into account things like you're calmer, your mental state is a lot better, and you have had a bit of an increase in activity. If you carry on, then the weight starts to come down, the cholesterol starts to come down, things like that. This is going to change.
Yeah.
You know, your life expectancy is going to increase even more. It's going to go 5, 10, 15, even more years.
Yeah.
So I think what we're looking at is just the start of a change.
Yeah. But I certainly sleep better. I'm taking time to eat better, and I'm exercising. Not as much as I'd like to be, but I'm definitely getting out more in the air.
You seem a lot more relaxed as well.
I'm very relaxed, but I mean, I know when this program's over, it's not going to be any way easier to get to the goals that I want to get to.
No.
I can't believe that I couldn't see this before now. It's astonishing changes, but it's going to take, I'd say it's going to take about 2 years before I actually get the structure totally right where it suits me. But I'm enjoying it, and I think I probably will continue it.
I just wanted to leave you with a little memento of our time together, our 8 weeks. I've got you something here. I hope you'll understand why. Got you that.
I'd say it's a...
You just have a look and then...
I'd say it's a Slinky.
Why would it be?
I'd say it's a brand new Slinky.
Come on then, let's have a look.
Upside down.
Well,
brand new one.
I did break your last one, Paul. That's the new Paul.
That's the new
That's the new Paul.
Intact.
Intact and, easy going and a bit of stress here and there. It's all back to the way it should be.
Yeah, well,
it's not bust anymore. Changing your whole mindset in just 8 weeks is a lot to ask of anyone, and I'm sure Paul would agree with me that he's got some way to go before he's made all those changes that he wants in his life. But he has made a lot of progress, I think. He's certainly a lot less stressed than he was at the start, and that's surely got to help when it comes to living a longer and healthier life. At 24, old age and death can seem such a long way away, but it's in these early years that we start laying the foundations for how long and how healthy our life is going to be. Briege Gagan is a 24-year-old pastry chef from Portmarnock near Dublin. Her erratic, unhealthy eating habits and her lack of exercise are potentially robbing years from her life.
I'm just putting on weight, I'm not losing it.
She needs to completely overhaul her bad habits now before it's too late. So I've got 8 weeks to try and help Briege develop some new habits that could add years to her life. Briege, hello.
Hello, Mark.
How are you doing?
Come on in.
Thank you very much, thank you. Tomorrow, Briege will undergo a complete medical, but first I wanted to get a feel for how unhealthy her lifestyle was. That, to me, is a fairly balanced fridge, but then again, you're a chef, so you're kind of a food expert. You also said your mum and dad are quite healthy as well.
Mm-hmm.
The fridge contents seemed healthy enough, I suspect, though, that this is not what she's eating regularly and that there were other causes for her weight gain.
I think you should actually cycle to work myself.
My dad will be quite healthy and he'd cycle and he'd go for walks on the beach.
My own family have a weight problem that we have to keep my brothers and that we have to keep our weight in check all the time.
So, his main concern was that I suppose he didn't want anything serious to happen to me.
As it is a long-term thing and she will eventually do damage if she doesn't get it under control.
Briege was obviously being encouraged to be healthy, but something had caused her to slowly gain weight. I needed to get to the bottom of what was wrong with her lifestyle if I had any hope of improving her life expectancy. Why do you think it is that you've been gaining weight rather than losing weight over the last few years? What do you think it is?
I don't have a routine at all. Been a chef for 5 years, so my routine of not eating properly would probably have started 5 years ago. My day will be quite hectic. I start at around 2 o'clock every day. I do a lot of tasting, which I have to. Sometimes I don't have a meal. I'll be picking all day. I can't remember the last time I had breakfast. I don't finish till around 12 o'clock at night time. So sometimes I come home and get a Chinese or takeaway, whatever's easiest, not to cook, not to spend another hour in the kitchen cooking. To be honest, I spend a fortune on takeaways.
I wanted Briege to understand why the body starts gaining weight and that exercise was the key to losing it. Any food that you do take in tends to get stored rather than used up because you say you're not really exercising much?
Yeah, I don't exercise at all.
Not at all. How do you get to work at the minute? Do you drive?
No, Daryl drives me or
Right.
my mother.
It is that balance between the energy that you're taking in the form of food and the energy that you're burning off in the form of activity, and it depends where that balance is. And if it goes one way, then you put on weight. If it goes the other way, then you start to lose weight, and then when you get to your right level, it just should balance out, and everything that you take in, you use up. It was now time to demonstrate to Briege exactly the strain her extra weight might be having on her body. There's just over 20 kilos here of potatoes, and that's basically the extra weight that you're carrying. With this much extra weight, Briege is at a greater risk of diabetes, certain cancers, hypertension, angina, heart attacks and osteoarthritis. She also could be reducing her life expectancy by around 10 years. Just to get an impression, if you want to grab there at that handle, grab with two hands and just lift it up.
Oh my God, I can't even lift it.
It is, there is a lot there.
I would like to be slim. My dream, to be slim and lose a lot of weight.
Changing your lifestyle is difficult, but Briege recently became engaged, and I'm hoping her future wedding will provide motivation for her to take her health seriously.
I'd like to be a reasonable size for my wedding, so I don't have to go and look back on my wedding pictures going, oh my God, what was I like? Not being able to walk up an aisle worries me.
I think the best way to look at it is lots of small steps. So each day or each week, I'm going to be losing little bits because I'm walking. I'm maybe taking the bike. If I'm getting a bus somewhere, I get off a stop earlier. And just gradually, over a period of weeks and months, it just drops off like that. And I think by the end of our 8 weeks together, we're going to get rid of a couple of bags. All right. So we're going to start getting your bloods taken. I've ordered a complete medical to ascertain Briege's current state of health. See you later. Bye-bye.
Morning, Briege. How are you? Have you ever had a blood sample before? Well, don't worry.
I'm feeling quite nervous about today and I have really bad butterflies.
Oh, don't be worried. There's only one needle. It's just several bottles.
Briege's blood will tell us a lot about any potential health risk that could take years off her life.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad at all.
Actually. Thank God.
The fat content of her blood will be measured, and a fasting blood sugar level will reveal if she is already suffering from diabetes. I'm also interested to find out if the blood and other tests reveal whether there is anything medical which is causing Briege to put on weight.
Now, Briege, this, again, is only going to take about 2 minutes to do.
While we wait on the blood test results, Briege's heart rate is being measured to make sure there is no evidence of heart disease.
Okay, just relax a little more. That's great.
And the news is good. It's normal. It doesn't guarantee immortality, but it is a good place to start.
Briege's heart is healthy, but she will need to tackle her weight if she's going to keep it that way.
Just give me your arm here now. Just turn her over like this again.
Next, Briege is given a thorough once-over by Dr. Kelly.
Oh, your blood pressure is excellent.
He measures Briege's height and weight in order to calculate her body mass index, or BMI.
That's fine, 5'4".
BMI is calculated by dividing your weight in kilograms by your height in meters squared. A healthy BMI is below 25. Anything over 30 is classified as obese, and Briege's is 36. Obesity is not just about looks. 90% of people with type 2 diabetes are obese or overweight. She needs to reduce her weight now before it's too late.
I could be diabetic if I keep on going on the way I am. It has made me think about it, that it could get quite serious, to be honest, that I should do something about it.
I'm just going to check your breathing test now to see what your breathing is like, okay?
Okay.
Right. Big breath in, out low.
Because of her weight, her lungs are performing 10 years older than they should be.
You have the lung age of a 35-year-old.
But if I can help reduce Briege's weight, this can be reversed. I am concerned, though, how badly this is affecting her short-term health. So while I wait to get all the blood results, I've sent her for a fitness test. I've also asked for a skin fold test.
If you just raise this one up there, yep, perfect, and just drop your hand down by your side. Yep.
Over 6 sites, she averaged 311 millimetres of body fat, which is too high. In 8 weeks, we will test her again, but for now, it was time for Briege's first bit of exercise for 5 years.
It'd be intense, but not too intense. Yeah.
By measuring her breath and blood lactate levels during exercise, I will be able to tell Briege's relative VO2 max, which will tell me how fit she is.
Okay, you ready to get to the next test stage?
Ideally, her score should be above 50.
I just want you to just point with your finger and how you feel the intensity of the exercise, okay? Yep, cool. Okay, you want to go to the next stage? No? Okay. Okay, well done.
That's so hard. With that, sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Briege's relative VO2 is only 22.5, which means she is very unfit. If she doesn't want to lose years from her life, this has to improve.
Yeah. It's very hard when you can't breathe.
Back at the hospital, all the results of the medical are in. The good news is Briege is not yet diabetic. The bad news is there are other areas of concern.
One of the markers of obesity, her triglyceride rate, which is another form of fat, was raised, and maybe an early warning sign of vascular disease and diabetes down the line.
Yeah.
I was just a little bit concerned that she might have a secondary cause of her weight, so we carried out tests to check her energy gland, her thyroid gland, that was normal. We carried out tests to check her adrenal gland, that was normal. We also did an ultrasound on her pelvis to make sure there was no hormonal imbalance, and that was normal. So this is primary obesity, secondary to food, really.
The medical had confirmed what I suspected. Her weight was going to take years off her life, and the only thing causing it was an unhealthy lifestyle. It was time to have a serious chat about her results. Briege, I've got here the results of your medical. There was just one small abnormality. It's called triglyceride. And what that is, it's a measure of a certain type of fat in the blood. And that was just slightly raised, and you would expect to see that in somebody who's carrying too much weight. At 2.65, her triglycerides were above normal. If we get that weight down and get more exercise, that should just come back into normal again. Briege also has a body mass index of 36, which means she is clinically obese. Half of the Irish population are regarded as overweight, and 1 in 8 are obese. If Briege doesn't make changes, she could be on course for a serious illness in the next 10 or 20 years. Coming up, Briege attempts to completely change her old habits.
A quarter per salad, is that enough?
Yeah. Feel the burn, feel the burn.
But has she got what it takes to change how long she lives? Briege Geoghegan is a 24-year-old pastry chef whose poor eating habits and lack of activity are taking years off her life.
One of the markers of obesity, her triglyceride, was raised.
A full medical screening has highlighted fats in the blood and an obese body mass index. It has also confirmed the only cause of Briege's high weight is an unhealthy lifestyle. In 8 weeks, she will be retested. In order to increase Brigi's life expectancy, my plan over the next 8 weeks is to slowly increase her activity levels to at least 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, and to give her a low-fat, healthy eating plan. Today is day 1 of Brigi's new lifestyle, and I want her to build activity into a daily routine.
I'm so embarrassed.
Why?
Brigitte only lives about 5 kilometres from work. If I can convince her to cycle or walk to work, she will get all the exercise she needs just from her daily commute.
Yeah, it's a fair distance now.
But it's been 5 years since Brigitte last did any exercise, so this change of lifestyle is not going to be easy.
I'm dead.
You what?
I'm dead.
You're dead?
Oh, I'm so tired already.
Well, you just left.
I know.
It's the wall, it's the pain barrier. We're going to go through it. That's speed. See, we're up a gear now. We're shifting. Feel the burn, feel the burn. Go.
Oh my God, my legs.
Breeze. Look at the road.
Yes. I didn't crash into the
But
car.
don't look at the bike, look at the road. You can if you want, look at the scenery though.
Brigitte has to enjoy her increase in activity if it's going to become part of her life.
This is spectacular, this scenery. You could be taking this in every day.
I couldn't help thinking that if Brigitte could appreciate the scenery on her way to work, then a daily chore could be turned into something much more rewarding.
I mean, this, you said, is nice. It's more than nice, it's absolutely gorgeous. It's that sort of beauty that just keeps you going every day.
I so want a glass of water.
Research suggests that each hour of exercise can lengthen life by roughly 2 hours. But 2/3 of Irish people are not active enough to get any health benefits.
What's the best time to exercise?
Best time? Anytime.
Yeah. Anytime?
Anytime.
In the morning?
In the morning, in the afternoon. Just basically upping your activity levels all day through.
Yeah.
It gets easier and easier as the time goes on. Is this the place?
It's only taken 20 minutes for us to cycle from home to work, and that 20 minutes can increase her life expectancy. After establishing a regular exercise programme, it was time to tackle Brigitte's eating habits, so I've enlisted the help of nutritionist Dr. Kathy Fulcher.
And a few things we want to change, which I think you know that. Yeah. One of the things is like there's not a great variety of fruit and vegetables, a little bit low on protein, things like that.
I'm worried that Brigitte will find changing what she eats incredibly difficult, especially as she makes rich, high-fat desserts for a living.
And the peaches, plums, grapes again to nibble on.
I'm hoping that this farmer's market will get Brigitte excited about healthy food.
It's quite nice.
Now, there's a few different cheeses here. You've got the feta cheese and you've got the mozzarella, but they're both quite low-fat cheeses.
I actually love mozzarella.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's a good choice to go for because it's lower in fat than cheddar.
I'm encouraged that after just 2 weeks, being more active is already making Brigitte feel better.
I've lost a bit of weight. Actually, I've lost a good bit of weight. I can actually feel my clothes hanging on me. I actually feel much healthier myself and I'm actually really excited.
If Kathy can convince Brigitte to sort out her diet, then she can really begin adding years onto her life.
The way you're describing some things, you really enjoy good quality food, so...
Too much.
Just the quantities we need to address.
Yeah. A quarter per salad. Is that enough?
Yeah, that's just a little bit thinner than that, actually. You don't want to go too generous on the serving.
Kathy has given Brigitte a weekly eating plan which includes low-fat proteins like fish and chicken, low-fat energy foods like brown rice, and plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables.
The thing with vegetables, the more the merrier, really. You know, that you can go for big quantities of vegetables, and that's what will fill you up. That and some nice chicken or fish. What about beans? Would you like beans?
No, not a big fan.
Asparagus?
I'd be pushed to eat it.
Brigitte has also been advised to eat 3 regular meals a day. That means no more skipping breakfast and no more late-night after-work takeaways.
I found this morning really helpful, that I found out what's good for me and what's not good for me.
So maybe 3, 4, or 5 portions of vegetables and 2 or 3 of fruit. So, and then the more variety on your plate, the better. So colour in your diet is really, really important because that provides all your extra nutrients. Melons are a really good source of vitamin C, and they're also full of a lot of water, so there's not very many calories in melon for the amount of beneficial kind of properties you get from them.
I don't eat properly, and I know that she told me that was really bad, that my diet was really bad. So hopefully, I will be making a change. You take the light one. I'll take the heavier one.
I'm seeing carrying them all around.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Hi.
4 weeks in, and despite her good intentions, Brigitte is finding the eating plan difficult. She's also worried her weight isn't falling off as quickly as she'd like.
I've been walking every day for 45 minutes. I've tried to have a bowl of porridge as well. I feel my energy levels actually have increased. I'm not as happy as I thought I would be. I thought I would have lost a bit more weight, but I have lost a few pounds. But I thought I would have lost more, so I'm not very happy. Well, I am happy, but not as happy as I thought I would have lost.
Weight loss is never constant. I'm worried that if Briege gets too obsessed with short-term setbacks, then the whole plan could become derailed. Well, Briege is doing really well so far, but I'm sure she's finding some parts of her new lifestyle difficult. I'm hoping today's shopping trip with this image consultant is going to help her see the benefits of a healthier lifestyle. I think I'll leave them to it.
Something like this now that drapes over the figure as opposed to clings to the figure. We'll keep that in mind. Yeah.
Anne-Marie Boland is an expert in making the best of yourself.
Also, with jeans, you're better off to keep the lines straight. So if you keep the lines straight without too much bulk around the top of them, they will be more flattering. Here we are.
Studies have shown that a low self-esteem can affect general health, so I hope that showing Briege how to look good will raise her confidence.
I haven't lost any weight in the last 2 weeks, so I feel a bit not as confident sometimes.
It will take some time to get to her ideal weight, but feeling good about herself now will help motivate her.
So the ruching here in the front, that's always very, very flattering. The bulk really wouldn't do anything for you. Avoid polo necks at all costs. If people don't feel good about themselves, it's very easy just to sit at home in front of the TV and eat a little bit more. A little bit of retail therapy along the way, and when you start to see yourself look better is motivation as well. Okay, right, so they're too big. Well, that's a good complaint for you. The programme's obviously starting to work.
I like the top though.
That make you feel good?
Yeah, absolutely.
To know that you've already dropped a couple of sizes. Okay, and these jeans are certainly much better. Nice.
Once Briege has finished her shopping, I've asked her to meet me for a coffee. I've got a little surprise for her, which I hope will help her focus on the future. So what we've done is we've got a photograph of you as you were a couple of weeks ago, and our clever people in technology department have modified it, and they've sort of projected you as you would like yourself to be. Maybe a few months, maybe next year, something like that. But this is your goal. You ready?
No.
Well, you're getting it anyway.
After's good, before so bad.
But that's why we're going that direction then. That's why we're heading that way.
Got such a difference.
Yeah. That was 4 weeks ago. Is this what you have in mind?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. And these changes are attainable, these changes you can do. I'm sure it is going to be difficult. Are you finding any parts of it tough?
It's kind of getting boring at this stage because I don't like brown rice and I don't like wholemeal pasta and I'm not allowed to eat wheat, and she asked me to stay away from potatoes, so I do eat the odd potato though.
It all has to come from you. The battle is all within you and it's all about you, basically.
Yeah.
I've told Briege that it's vital that she concentrates on the long term. I just hope she realises that if she wants to live longer, her new lifestyle has to go beyond the 8-week challenge I've set her.
Porridge for my breakfast, with water, of course, and 1 teaspoon of sugar, just to sweeten it up a little bit.
Porridge is straight out of Kathy's eating plan, but I think the sugar is Briege's touch.
When people say, oh, so you're on a diet, I say, no, I'm not on a diet, I'm changing my eating habits. Never really used to eat breakfast, to be honest. I just never was hungry, but even now, I feel myself getting hungry in the morning. I feel like I have more energy, especially when I come back from my walk, I eat and I have more energy for the day. It's been hard and easy. You have your good days and your bad days. It's not a problem, I mean, you just get out and do it.
The healthy eating may be difficult, but by week 7, exercise has become part of Briege's life.
I've been walking and cycling and my exercise is a lot now.
For the last 5 years, Briege has ignored her local beach, but now she is there every day, and I hope she's managed to finally appreciate the beauty of where she lives.
Yeah, to be honest, I just get out and do my walk and I don't think about it. It's only 45 minutes of my 24-hour day, so I just do it. And my eating habits have changed. I've had a few slip-ups, but as I look at it, they are treats, and I think I am regarded a few, but I would definitely walk a bit longer if I was to have a Chinese or something a night before, but not as many as I used to have, God, no.
It's the end of the 8-week plan. Will Briege have reversed 5 years of damage caused by bad eating habits and lack of exercise? A full medical and fitness test highlighted a lot of problems which could take years off her life. The tests have been repeated, and today I'm here to let Briege know if she's made any difference to how long she lives. I think there's a great improvement there. For a start, your weight, that's come down by 6 kilograms. Now that's just under a kilogram a week. But that's a significant amount, and that's reflected in your body mass index, your BMI, which has come down from 36 to 34.
Is that a lot?
That in 8 weeks is. Waist measurement as well, that's dropped by over 4 inches, around about 10 centimetres, so your belt must have gone down a notch or two. Your triglycerides, which is a type of fat in the blood. I was a bit worried at the start because it was a bit raised with you. And you've got that into normal level now. It was 2.65, which is a bit high.
Now?
It's now normal at 1.74.
Cool.
Skin fold tests that were done, about 6 points around your body. There's a 21% loss in that. Your relative VO2, which is your lung capacity, that has increased by 20% as well. So all of these things are showing that you're heading in the right direction. When you apply these figures to a life expectancy calculator, the increase in your life expectancy is an extra 10 years.
10 years.
Already that you have added onto your life.
I'll never die if I keep it up.
No, exactly.
10 years to my life in 8 weeks is a bit amazing, actually, to be honest.
Of course, because it's starting to become winter now. It's getting a bit dark. How long will you live? You're going to live a lot longer if you've got a fluorescent vest.
Oh, thanks.
For safety. And your life.
8 weeks ago, I was tired all the time and all I wanted to do was sleep. But now I feel much better and I'm walking and I'm much healthier and I've a lot more energy. I can go all day without yawning.
And your lights as well, the obligatory lights. So there you go.
Oh, thank you very much.
You've done fantastically well.
Walking 45 minutes a day, what is it of your whole day? It's nothing, to be honest. It adds years onto your life, as I found out.
I really hope that Briege can build on the experience of these last 8 weeks and that she can continue on this healthier path that she's begun. Unhealthy foods can be incredibly addictive, and the challenge of changing bad eating habits can't be underestimated. However, she's made a great start, and if she can continue to stay active, she's going to add quality years to her life. Gary Rooney is a 38-year-old printer from Dublin who is dangerously overweight. Just 15 years ago, he was playing competitive basketball. Now, he's heading for an early grave.
I just feel tired all the time. I'm tired all the time. The simplest things is like cut the grass. Even walking to the shops or if I walk down the road, I'm tired.
I asked Gary to wear a metabolic rate monitor for a week so I could measure just how little exercise he does. The results were a shock. He should be moving about 12,000 steps a day. At the moment, he takes just over 3,500.
Probably just a lazy person. Every year I put up maybe a stone, and it just keeps going that way.
In just 8 weeks, we're going to try and break habits that have become a way of life. It's going to be one of the hardest things he's ever done. But luckily, I don't think he needs to look too far for motivation.
We're sitting down, had a baby boy there a couple of weeks ago. And I wanted to be able to go out the back and kick ball with him or whatever. And I think if I continue the way I am, I won't be able to move off the couch. Yeah. That's it.
I can't really go out to play football sometimes because I just can't.
His weight affects every part of his life. A year ago, he developed sleep apnea, which means he has to wear a mask every night to keep his airways open. The extra fat in Gary's neck is making his throat narrower than normal. Without the mask, his airway becomes blocked and his body jerks him awake to breathe. This weight gain has to stop before it leads to more problems.
I'd like to see us grow old together, and at the moment I don't see that ahead with his weight.
Putting on weight is putting a strain on my heart. I don't want to die, you know.
Putting on excess weight doesn't happen overnight. If I was to have any hope of helping Gary turn things around, I needed to find out when things started to go wrong.
That's the shirt I used to wear when I was under 13.
You think it would fit you now?
Probably not. It probably didn't fit me then.
Did you notice that when you stopped playing regularly that you put more weight on?
Yeah, well, it did, because I continued doing the same things, like without the training. You know, I was drinking the same and I was eating the same, like takeaways nearly every night and a few pints every evening, I suppose.
I wanted to demonstrate the strain Gary is putting on his body. Katie, can you just step forward first for me? At over 24 stone or 154 kilograms, Gary is 70 kilograms overweight, the combined weight of both his daughters. So these two are basically representing the sort of weight that you're carrying. It's putting a lot of strain on your joints, it's putting strain on your organs, and I can see that you're straining there. How long are you going to be able to keep them up there?
About now.
And that's the sort of weight that we're looking to try and shed. It's the day of the medical, and Gary is worried.
I'm a bit nervous what I might find, if there's anything wrong. Hopefully everything will go well, but I am expecting some problems. No, I'm not afraid of doctors, no. I'm afraid of no one.
The purpose of today's examination is to work out Gary's current state of health.
How's your breathing?
I won't be running, I don't think.
All right.
He's right to expect problems. He could be reducing his life by as much as 12 years.
I haven't got that much of a sweat up in 2 years.
But he's young, and hopefully today we'll find nothing that we can't reverse.
Okay, Gary, we're just going to put you up on the scales here. Your weight, Gary, is 24 stone, 3 pounds.
Carrying excess weight puts a strain on the body. Gary's already had a problem with his Achilles, and now there's a worry that he may have arthritis.
We're going to x-ray your hip joint as well. There's a bit of excessive weight strain in that area.
Okay. You never think that your joints are going to be stressed out from your weight. So I was surprised when he said it to me, okay, but hopefully we can get it sorted.
Whilst the x-ray is sent for examination, Gary's next procedure is the blood test. Somebody's blood can tell you a lot about their health and any problems they may be storing up. Meanwhile, the result of Gary's x-ray is in.
And I know you've been getting some right hip pain, but this is your right hip joint.
If Gary is showing signs of arthritis, then it could wreck my plans to get him more active.
The thing that's important to look at in this is that the joint space here is the same on both sides, and these bones look very healthy.
Thankfully so far it's good news, although Gary's blood might tell a very different story. While we wait on those results, it was time to measure his fitness.
Okay, so at the moment you've got the mouthpiece like this. I want you to squeeze it together. That's perfect. Okay, Gary, how do you rate that intensity?
By analysing his blood lactate levels and breathing, we get a VO2 reading of just 23. It should be double this.
How'd you find that?
Hard.
It's no surprise to me that Gary is very out of condition. It's been a long day. After a few days' wait, the results of the tests are in, and I've calculated his life expectancy. Hopefully today, I can convince Gary to change his lifestyle before it's too late. The first thing that they found, really, the first thing they commented on was your extra weight. And the way they measure that is something called the BMI, the body mass index. And all it really is a measurement of the amount of weight that you have for your height. And it should be sort of between 21 and 25. Yours, unfortunately, was quite high at 44.
Doubles.
Way too high. 90% of people who develop type 2 diabetes are overweight. Gary is morbidly obese. If you did a medical maybe in another 5 years' time, I'm sure there'll be certain things starting to flag up there, such as problems with diabetes. Now, you, I would say, are quite prone to diabetes, and the thing that makes you prone is the girth, is the waistline. Gary's abdominal girth is 52 inches. Anything over 37 can lead to poor health. And he's not alone. The average Irish waistline has risen by 6 inches over the last 40 years. Your total cholesterol at 5.1 is what I would say is borderline. Unfortunately, your bad cholesterol is a little bit too high. At 3.8, Gary's LDL cholesterol is a concern. If we can't sort this out, it could affect how long he lives. So we took all the results from the medical and from your questionnaire and all the other facts and figures about your life, put them into life expectancy calculators, and the average life expectancy we've got for you at the minute, I stress at the minute, is 69.
69?
69.
Okay. I don't want to die at 69, but I actually expected it to be worse, to be honest. So 69, I'm not happy with it, but I'm not shocked with it.
The average life expectancy for an Irish man is 75 years. Gary has to improve his lifestyle. I think at the end of 8 weeks, we'll change things around, see what you're doing, re-enter all these facts and figures back into the calculators again, and we'll see what comes out then.
Should you see a big difference over 8 weeks?
That's up to you.
71, here we come.
Over the next 8 weeks, I want Gary to get off the couch and increase his activity, building up to at least 30 minutes of vigorous activity a day, 5 times a week. He also has to eat more healthily and axe the takeaways. We won't reverse 15 years of weight gain in 8 weeks, but we can make a start.
I'm psyched up for it. I'm going to work my ass off now to try to get this off, get this sorted, you know?
See you again, bye-bye.
Take care, bye-bye.
Anyone trying to change their lifestyle is going to find it really hard, especially at the beginning. But as you can see there, I think Gary has the support he needs to help him focus on that long-term goal. The bottom line is, though, if he wants to have a long and healthy life, he's going to have to make some radical changes. It looks like Gary has taken my advice about exercise on board, and already he's making an effort to increase his activity, and it's proving quite an event.
I tell you, this is the first time I've done windows since I moved into this house.
Even simple tasks like housework can improve your health. An hour of this would burn off at least 3 times more calories than watching TV.
God, they were filthy, Darren. When did you last do that?
But he'd have to clean the whole street to burn off the extra calories he's been taking in. He needs to sort out his diet, and the woman to help is top nutritionist Margot Brennan.
I brought along an old familiar favourite of yours this morning, and I think it's fair to say this is something you used to have most days.
Every day.
Every day. Why was that?
It was just handy to make. I love cheese, I love ham, so hence cheese and ham every day.
Well, that would have about 800 calories and about 37 grams of fat. When you eat something like white bread, your blood sugar level goes up very quickly, okay, and then it comes down very quickly, and that can often leave you feeling hungry.
It's time to wave goodbye and embrace some of Margot's healthy alternatives.
I know time is often short in your house, particularly with your new baby. You know, you need meals that you can pull together very quickly, but that are nutritious and that will sustain you. One of the things to think about is at every sandwich, trying to include fruit and vegetables or salad or something in that form.
If I was doing this, I'd have mayonnaise on that now.
No, you really don't need. What you could do is maybe if you wanted to put a little bit of natural yoghurt through.
Gary is going to have to get used to a whole new food palette of brown breads, fish, at least 5 portions of fruit and veg, and baked beans.
I actually thought there was a lot of sugar in beans.
Yeah, no, there is some sugar in them, yeah, but because they're high in fibre as well, it's back to like the brown bread and the white bread. The sugar is slowly released, and they're going to keep your sugar level much more stable, and that then you won't feel as hungry.
I'm going to miss the white bread. I was probably eating a half-sliced pan every day, which is way too much for the looks of things.
I'm a little bit concerned that they have a huge amount of changes to make, and I suppose one thing I would say is, you know, do 1 or 2 things at a time. Don't try and make all the changes together, because that makes it extremely difficult.
Over the next week, Gary's changes are rubbing off on the whole family, but their old habits are never far from their minds.
If I was having a curry like this, I'd have rice and chips with it, but I'm just going to have brown rice with it, and I'm piling up on the veg just to fill myself up without the chips.
I never said this was going to be easy. Over the next couple of months, Gary is going to have to dig deep, and the real battle will be in his mind.
People in general have been very supportive. Then you get the odd guy saying behind your back that you're going to he's gonna fall at the last hurdle, or he's gonna eat a Mars bar or something like that. I'm gonna prove them all wrong. I'm gonna get down to what I want to get down to, and I'm gonna stay down, and that's it.
Before that, though, there's plenty of work to be done, and today I want to introduce Gary to an exercise programme that's tailor-made to a father of 3. No need to look so worried. When I talked to you this morning on the phone about some exercise, all I meant was getting the girls, getting the football and the frisbee, and just having a bit of a laugh. Your ball. Girl. Good. Way. The idea about this is that it fits in with your life. You're being busy, you're being active. As the fitness level comes up, the metabolism speeds up, it's easier for you then to lose weight and keep the weight off as well. Oh, there. Long ball up the wing. For activity to give health benefits, it's enough to get warm and slightly out of breath. If Gary can do this for at least 30 minutes a day, then he can really start adding the years onto his life. Much better than lifting weights, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the more you do, actually, the more energy you get.
Yeah.
Have you found that yet?
Yeah. I got in and painted Katie's room on Wednesday, and I cleaned windows on Thursday. Something I'd never done.
So it's just like a natural energy that just keeps ticking over. It's referred to as inertia. You know, if you're used to not really doing much and you're sedentary and sitting around, that's the way you'll stay.
These are my treadmill, aren't
they? They are, yeah. I mean, it's much better doing this than working out down a boring gym.
Yeah. I couldn't have done this a month ago. You know, I didn't do it. By the time I got home from work, I was too tired. We just stayed in.
Did you enjoy today, girls?
Yeah.
Can you see Dad getting faster?
Yeah.
Do you think he's getting faster?
Yeah.
Should we see how fast he is?
Yeah.
Last one to the gate. It's the loser. Come on. I'm really encouraged by Gary's attitude, but we are still in the early stages. It's over the coming weeks that Gary's resolve will really be tested.
Sundays in this house would have been always a takeaway. We would have always got Chinese or pizza or whatever. We don't get it anymore. The kids actually rang me the first takeaway in a couple of weeks, and they got it while I was in work, and they rang me in work to tell me that they'd got one. They thought it was funny. I suppose it was. But I haven't had one, thank God. Is that okay?
Sundays aren't the only problem for Gary. It's time to send him back to Margot Brennan before he starts slipping back to his old habits.
In the evenings, I have to say, I'm getting a bit hungry, and it's mainly when I'm actually at home. If I'm sitting around, I feel a bit hungry.
Something that I find very useful is to make up a smoothie, and really you can use virtually anything in it. A lot of people feel that you shouldn't eat after, 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening. And that's a myth, really. It's your total calorie intake for the day is what's important.
That's lovely.
And you feel that something, certainly at night time, it'll take that hunger off you.
Yeah.
Because if you go long periods without eating and you get very hungry, that's when you're likely to break out and to go for all the things that we don't want you to have.
We're just over halfway through the 8 weeks, and Gary has introduced a regular workout into his life.
When I got up here and started looking around, I said, okay, there's people that are smaller than me, but there are people around the same size as me, and people who probably were the same size as me have lost weight, so I was just looking at it that way, so it's an incentive for me, really.
Now that he's getting fitter, pushing himself and getting out of breath will really help him extend his life.
Some days I feel like giving up. I look at the clock and just say, just keep it going 7 minutes, and in fairness, I haven't given it, I haven't stopped yet.
Gary's determination is great to see, and for the first time in years, he's not too heavy to weigh himself on regular scales.
I have to keep it going. There's no point getting this far and then just checking it in.
I'm really looking forward to meeting Gary today. He is doing so well, but I want him to look ahead beyond the end of filming. He just needs to keep in mind of how much he can achieve if he keeps doing these positive things and takes them forward into the future. My plan today is to reintroduce Gary to his first love. Now this is the stage, Gary, where a lot of people start to struggle and they start to find it hard to keep the momentum going. Are you finding that that's an issue, a problem with?
I had one problem, which I ate one chocolate bar and it haunted me every time I opened my book I seen.
That's all right.
But I feel great. I'm getting up early in the morning with the kids and bringing them to school. And
so you're noticing differences,
yeah.
Little differences all over the place?
All over the place.
When's the last time you picked up a basketball to play?
About 2 years ago.
2 years?
Yeah.
Hopefully today's warm-up with some of his club's new players will make him remember what he's been missing. If he decides to take it up again, it will give him even more motivation to keep fit and lose weight. Before we go, I also want to show him how he might look in a year's time. Gary, now I've got a breath back after that. I got the blood pumping. I just want to show you something. That is the old Gary.
Yeah.
You recognise him well. I want you to meet the new Gary.
Looks like my younger brother.
Can you picture yourself being like that?
Yeah.
You know, that's not going to happen at the end of our 8 weeks together. But I think if you carry on with the way you started, with that sort of energy and that determination, that motivation, I think that's definitely a realistic possibility, if not probability. It's week 7 and Gary's resolve to be healthy continues to spill over to the whole family. Tonight, they're making smoothies.
Do you want to get some yogurts?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go on. Yeah. Go ahead.
We're all starting to lose weight and we're all eating healthier and all. God love anyone coming to visit us now. There's no goodies in the fridge for them anymore now. They get offered an apple or an orange or a banana or something like that. We can't have them, nobody's having them, exactly.
In a week's time, Gary faces another medical examination.
Suck on my teeth.
Although the healthy life is becoming routine, Gary's apprehensive.
I'm actually more nervous now about the results than I was about going for the first lot of tests. If the results are the same as before, I'd be sick. I'd be devastated.
8 weeks ago, Gary set out to add years to his life. Today, I'll tell him if he's done it. His initial examination revealed that he was inactive, morbidly obese, and possibly heading for arthritis, diabetes, and heart disease.
How's your breathing?
I won't be running, I don't think.
All right.
But with determination and hard work, he's managed a complete overhaul of his life.
He's actually amazed me. He's completely changed all his eating habits. No more takeaways, he's doing loads of housework. Just basically a completely different person. Completely different, nicer person now.
A few days ago, Gary's initial tests were repeated. He may be feeling better, but he's about to find out whether he's made any difference to how long he lives. Well, let's see just how well you have done. And we measured everything again. Average METs. Now, what METs are is basically the amount of energy you burn per hour. And you've brought it to 1.6. Your total steps. When we first met you, that has leapt up to 12,539, which is an increase of nearly 250%. The guy that did all these physical tests, he said, I've never seen lifestyle changes of this magnitude. Are you certain that this is the same patient? And he didn't have a friend wear it.
No, I were.
And that's again reflected in the amount of weight that you've lost. When we measured you, you'd lost 2 stone 5 pounds, and since last week, you've lost another 6 pounds. Your body fat, which was 42%, has dropped to 34%, and your body mass index, which was very high, I mean dangerously obese at 44, that has come down 4 points, which is a dramatic change. The LDL, the bad cholesterol, was at 3.8. That was far too high, and it's come down to 3.5. So how has it affected your lifespan, your life expectancy? Previously it was 69.
Yeah.
Far too low.
Yeah.
You know, below average for an Irishman, and you know, not the sort of life expectancy you want to see.
Yeah, 4 years after I finished work.
Exactly. The big figure that we wanted to see.
Yeah.
You have increased that to 80.
It's not believe it. It's brilliant. I knew it'd gone up, but I was amazed at 80. That was unbelievable.
You've added 11 years onto your life in the space of 8 weeks.
I have plans ahead for myself. It'd be great to be able to be there in my 70s and be still a bit active.
It's a brilliant, brilliant start, and I think you should be very proud of yourself for that.
For me, exercise was the key. I had to exercise. If I didn't exercise, I was just going to eat and sit down. Keys for a new car, don't believe it.
We've got a new basketball shirt. Super dad.
Super dad. Brilliant. I had a thing written and working inside my locker. This might sound stupid, but it just kind of got me going. It's no use talking, just do the walking, you know, and that's basically what I had to do, you know. I've fed up talking. I've been talking for years and not doing anything about it, so I got out and done it this time.
It's been great working with Gary and his family. Let's get this in perspective. Gary was almost certainly heading for a future of chronic ill health. Now, if he continues on this pathway, he's going to be playing basketball with his grandchildren. He's rewritten his future, and it's been an honour to play a part in that.
I was the couch potato, and that's the final thing, really. If I can do it, anyone can do it.
Catherine O'Dwyer is a 35-year-old smoking workaholic coffee junkie. A medical has revealed problems with cholesterol and blood pressure and a life expectancy of just 59 years.
When I get out of bed in the morning, I start with a coffee. Then the routine is drive to work, stop on the way, pick up a coffee. If I hadn't a lot of sleep, I'll pick up 2 coffees. What? 10 o'clock break, coffee, 2 usually. Every second hour, I suppose, there would be coffee. And that goes right through the day and the evening.
Along with the coffee is a 20-a-day cigarette addiction. And when it all gets too much, there's always the pub.
I think it was about 2 to maybe 3 months ago then, I just completely burnt. I literally was just told, go, get out of work, go home. That scared me, to be honest. You know, that I just freaked.
Her husband Gar is also desperate for Catherine to get help.
It's incredibly important for me that she does get something out of this, because you know, without it and stuff, I can see her burning herself out, you know, and she'll be no good to anybody after that, you know.
If she wants to live longer, she's going to have to completely change everything she does. And I've only got 8 weeks to convince her to do it.
Being honest, I think it's going to be the hardest thing that I've ever tried to do.
Tomorrow, Catherine will be undergoing a complete medical, but I wanted to start by getting her to look seriously at her most harmful habit, smoking. Hi, Catherine.
Hey, Mark, how are you doing?
Very good, thanks, and very good, thank you. Cigarettes contain dangerous chemicals that are also found in household products. I'm going to make Catherine a cocktail from the poison she merrily inhales every day. Everybody knows about the nicotine, which is the addictive one. That's the one that it's difficult to kick. That's the one that keeps you coming back for more. But there's about 4,000 other chemicals in cigarettes. Now, I've got some of them here. I'm a highly trained professional, so I don't recommend this at home. If you mix some of these chemicals together, they can react. Paint remover. Next, I want to put in a little bit of ant killer. Ammonia, you'll find in floor cleaner. Lighter fuel, butane from that. 60 of the chemicals are known to be cancer-causing. A few of these are cancer-causing. So we'll mix that up. Thanks to chemicals like this, 10 times more people die in Ireland each year from smoking than from road accidents. Just a little bit of pizzazz. There we go, our cigarette cocktail. Would you care to try?
No, you're fine. No, thanks.
Are you sure now?
Positive, yeah.
It will take more than this to break Catherine's addiction, but hopefully the next few days will give her plenty to think about.
3.4. Jeez, this is getting progressively worse.
Tonight she is at the National Coaching and Training Centre. I'm getting her body fat measured and measuring how well her body responds to exercise.
All the way. Stop.
Despite regular visits to the gym, by analysing her breath and blood lactate levels, we can see she is unfit. Her VO2 max is just 31.5. If she wants to live longer, this has to improve. It's the day of the medical. Today we will find out exactly how her lifestyle has affected her body.
I'm a bit nervous, I suppose, because I don't think much about health. To be honest, I'd be a bit kind of lackadaisical regarding that.
Today, Catherine will undergo a complete examination from head to toe.
No complaints.
And from pancreas to liver.
This is the right kidney. From here to here.
From the results, I'll be able to get a handle on her risks of heart disease, stroke, cancers and diabetes, and make sure there is nothing that doesn't require immediate treatment.
69 kilos, all right, is what you're weighing in at.
Catherine is still young, and I'm hopeful that any abnormal results we uncover today can be reversed.
Blow really, really hard. Go on. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay. Okay, it's too much for you, Catherine.
The effects of her lifestyle are only too plain to see.
Catherine, keep good girl, good girl.
My breath. I can light a fag now.
We are still waiting on the results from Catherine's blood test, but she's already got a lot to think about.
So I suppose what I've learned is what I thought all along, that it's just very unhealthy lifestyle. Don't eat the right food, don't exercise enough, smoke way too much. So I suppose if I want to get anything out of it, I'm going to have to change.
Catherine's blood results are in, and I've calculated her life expectancy. Hopefully today will be a springboard to a brighter future, but I'm not looking forward to it. I hate bringing bad news. Catherine, I have here some of the main points from your medical that we sent you for the other day. All right. Your cholesterol. Now, cholesterol is linked to heart disease, high blood pressure, and other such illnesses. And yours is right on the border of being too high. Ideally, Catherine's cholesterol should be below 5. Your blood pressure is 150/90. It's this lower figure that's significant. And 90, anything above 90, we would start to consider being too high. High resting blood pressure combined with raised cholesterol could eventually lead to a stroke or a heart attack. Now what we did was we typed all of these results into life expectancy calculators. Now at the minute, with your current lifestyle, your life expectancy is that.
Go away.
59 is far too young.
Christ.
Yeah. I was shocked as well.
You were shocked?
Yeah. And that was the average that we got. To be honest with you, some of them said lower.
It's just like hit with a brick. I really, for the first time, I don't know what to say. I'm shocked.
The reason why that's so low, it is the smoking. Diet is erratic. So much coffee. You're just running on this artificial level. The average life expectancy for an Irish woman is 80. At the moment, Catherine is dying 21 years early. She has to change.
To die at 59. Or the thoughts of like that you don't get into old age. I don't know, I'm overwhelmed.
My plan for the next 8 weeks is nothing short of a completely different way of life. I want her to give up the erratic eating habits and reduce her coffee to less than 3 cups a day. I also want her to look at better ways of coping with her stress than the pub. Increasing the intensity of her exercise is just one of the ways she can do this. Finally, if she feels ready, I want her to give up smoking. It's week 1 and Catherine's brand new lifestyle begins with a visit from stress management expert Therese Ryan.
And I don't spend a lot of time in here. I don't eat here. I cook here.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't cook every night.
You don't actually eat here?
I wouldn't eat here, no, I've never.
She's convinced that the root of Catherine's problems with sleep and overwork lie not at the office, but in the home.
If I'm on my own in the house, I'd work in here then as well.
Okay, so you work here, you eat here, and you relax here?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This is the bedroom, the workroom.
Again?
Yeah.
Do you plan relaxation periods into your schedule?
No.
Are you able to relax during the time you set aside for yourself?
No. Well, I don't set time aside. Okay.
It doesn't take her long to identify easy changes Catherine can make that will help her relax and improve her health.
Moving forward with this and making a change, it's about, right, making your kitchen a place where you eat, where you actually cook your food and socialise, but not bringing it everywhere around your home. Then with your sitting room, making that
that should be the chill room.
Chill room, as in your partition, time out. And then your bedroom, a place where you actually sleep. Have you ever thought about going for a massage? Yeah? No. Even taking time out just for yourself. You're only able to assist someone when they really, really want to do something. Then you are definitely more than halfway there. So I feel we're definitely at the 50% mark at this stage.
Therese may feel they are 50% there, but that still leaves a long way to go. And tonight, Catherine's relaxing in the only way she knows how.
When Therese kind of came around the house, it just hit home a little bit like that. It isn't a home because I bring so much work home and I don't switch off at all.
Tomorrow, Catherine goes on holiday, and tonight is a chance to say goodbye to the old life and reflect on the weeks ahead.
I know once I come home, if I want to carry on the way I'm doing, fine, I can do that. But obviously I don't, otherwise I wouldn't do this programme. When I come back from holidays, I definitely want to give up the cigarettes. And I suppose the plan is I'd like to kind of come off the plane, smoke a couple of fags, and then that's it. Whether that'll happen that quick, I don't know. But definitely I want cigarettes out of my life.
I'm really encouraged by Catherine's attitude. She's right, a holiday is not the time to attempt to give up highly addictive habits, but she seems determined to try when she comes back. I'm still not convinced, though, that she realises just how hard it's going to be.
Some alien has taken over my body. How long will she live? We'll never know. Because I don't care. I don't care.
Catherine O'Dwyer is a 35-year-old smoking workaholic coffee junkie. A medical has revealed problems with cholesterol and blood pressure and a life expectancy of just 59 years. We've only got 8 weeks to completely overhaul all her bad habits before she's retested and a new life expectancy calculated. We've got just 5 weeks left.
Goodbye, nicotine.
Catherine's back from holiday. True to her word, she's smoking what she hopes is her last cigarette.
Shinawil. Watch my bed now. Good night.
Things are now getting serious.
If it's not fun, you got no sense of humour.
Today, I want to introduce Catherine to an activity that I think could benefit her in so many ways.
Hands off as well. Yeah, trying to shoot that down.
The best way to get active is to do something that you enjoy. If your exercise is a chore, you're just not going to keep it up.
Good, one more, 1, 2.
I'm hoping Catherine might get into boxing. Vigorous exercise like this releases natural endorphins, which will really help Catherine relax.
I think you forgot to breathe your hand. Breathe out this time.
Life expectancy's going up.
1. Good.
And learning a new skill might finally help her take her mind off work.
1. Good. 1, 2. Forget about everything else, okay? You're not focusing on anything else, only on the balance. Off you go, round 2.
Go.
I suppose for the last hour, this is the first time that I have just cleared.
Going for the knockout shot.
Well, I'm wrecked. But I didn't think I could do it. But it was just... I'd say it's an addiction. This is something that could take the place of coffee. Definitely.
And fags.
And fags.
It's the start of week 4.
See, that is actually rubbish now.
Catherine has begun to implement some more recommendations. Today she's following Therese Ryan's advice about looking at how she uses her living space, and she's decided to turn the spare room into an office.
I don't know how settled I would be here to work, but I suppose I won't know until I try.
It's good to see that she's beginning to deal with her overwork, but other areas of her lifestyle change are proving more difficult.
Dying, totally dying, seriously dying now for a cigarette. For probably just the last 5 minutes now it's hitting. 10 fags and no lighter. I've one downstairs.
It's been over a week since Catherine gave up smoking 20 cigarettes a day. She's been using patches and gum, but tonight it looks like she's lost the battle.
It's nice. It's awful, I know, but it's nice. It's balls, no, though. Seriously, it is balls. I suppose I fought it now for the last 2 days, so I just need one. Didn't get rid of the ashtray either.
If Catherine can't defeat her addiction, she's likely to be facing a pretty grim future.
In through the nose, holding it, and out through the mouth.
To try and get Catherine back on track, stress expert Therese Ryan is paying her another visit.
You're pacing yourself. And even just doing it, you actually feel yourself just dropping down. That's it, holding it and out through the mouth. That's it. Now, this time I want you to take it a bit deeper, okay? I want
Very
you to...
odd.
Yeah, it is. This is a...
I'm hoping today will show her healthier ways of relaxing than smoking.
Breathe out through the mouth. Okay, how do you find that?
Not relaxing.
Okay.
Being honest.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's just too slow.
It's too slow.
It's like,
fine.
come on.
That is the purpose of it.
Yeah.
To go slow.
That was alien to me. I found it very difficult to just concentrate on it. But I can see the benefit of it. And I will try it, but I think that would be quite hard.
The advantage with it is that you will never reach that very high peak that you have been operating at. And as you said yourself, the burning out, you can't keep burning out like that anymore. And you've hit many of them, okay? It's getting her to feel the difference between this is pressure, this is stress, this is relaxation level, okay? And by doing that, she's definitely going to be able to bring herself right back down. Otherwise, all the other changes she's going to do, she won't consciously take them on board.
A few days later, relaxation is the last thing on her mind. She's not had a cigarette for days.
It's a craving, but it's like just this overwhelming urge to just get out. And I suppose at the back of my mind, I know I've got 10 fags in the bag, and I'm saying just a couple of puffs now would probably calm me down again. Hello. Even the coffee isn't the same, because obviously coffee's linked with a cigarette. Everything is linked with a cigarette. So, hence standing here at the door in the rain. Just try to bring myself down before I go back into the next session.
I'm due to see Catherine next week. Not a moment too soon.
One fag, really, one fag. Get a grip. I'm absolutely cracking up. My head is killing me. My heart keeps just going into palpitations. It has beaten me, it's killing me, I can't take it. What 10 fags? Disappointed. But it's good. It's very good. I want my life back, I want my personality back, I want me back. I don't want to smoke. I do.
The battle with a nicotine addiction is really tough, and I'm a little bit afraid that Catherine might be losing it. Most of the fight is up here, but hopefully she's just off to a shaky start. But if she's truly not ready to quit, then I don't know if anything I say today is going to make any difference at all. My plan today is to chat through her attempts to give up smoking.
I usually smoke and drink when I play pool, you see, this is a first.
I hope I can convince Catherine to give non-smoking just one last try. So you're not tempted every now and again just to have a quick sneaky cigarette? The reason why I'm asking that is because I know I've been there.
Been there.
Yeah.
No, I am. I mean, I have. Came into work and smoked one. And it was even a weekend because I knew there'd be no one around, so I smoked one. But then that night, it got bad and bad again.
What that does is it just keeps the receptors in the brain, it just keeps them ticking over, and it keeps that fix, that addiction need going. So it may only be one, but then you look forward to that one, and then it goes up to 2, and then the next thing you know, you're back to your normal sort of 10 a day or 20 a day, whatever it was. And that's the difficult bit, is to completely go without them, so that you go through the withdrawal symptoms and finish with them.
Yeah.
It might take a few weeks to a few months.
And you'll be left with no husband and no friends. But at least your lungs will be good. Yeah. You're a miserable non-smoker.
If she can just keep going, things will get easier.
Yes.
And maybe then she can start picking up on the rest of her lifestyle changes. Before I leave, I wanted to show her a picture of what she could look like in 20 years' time if she carried on with her old bad habits. Are you ready?
Go on.
There you go.
No.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's a reaction.
Go on.
It's there.
Yeah, I see it. Go on.
That is a possible future you.
It brought back the same crazy feeling that I got when Mark told me the possible life expectancy. It was that sort of a panic feeling of, this is real.
It would be nice if you had this picture in your mind of what you want to avoid, of why you're making the changes that you're making, because when the programme's over, you're still going to be left with those choices each day. Do I have a cigarette? You know, am I going to eat healthily or am I going to do some exercise? You know, it's daily choices, and you can slip back at any moment.
Yeah. I won't be able to move tomorrow.
It's week 7 and Catherine is beginning to turn a corner. She's making time to relax with a massage. Boxercise classes and the gym are also getting her through the worst of the cravings.
When things got really tough, I'd come to the gym because it was the only time that I'd actually forget about, or try to forget about, the changes that I was making. And I definitely feel better for it.
Her home office is also proving invaluable, and the long nights working in bed have become a thing of the past. And she hasn't had a cigarette for almost 2 weeks.
I am definitely finding it easier. Easier in I go longer without thinking of having a cigarette, which makes my day much easier then.
There may be a long way to go, but Catherine's husband is amazed how far she's come.
You know, this is the first time in 4 or 5 weeks that you've come home and I've actually seen you relaxed.
Yeah.
Your whole expressions, the whole lot and stuff, you're not, you know, run, hectic and stuff. It's been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's very hard to put into words and stuff. To see the change and the commitment. Like, I always thought, and I said to you, I couldn't see you not smoking before.
I couldn't see me not smoking.
I'm extremely proud. I am very, very proud. You know, why could I not, like?
Tomorrow I will see Catherine for the final time, and she's in a reflective mood.
This is the most important thing that I, at the age of 35, have ever done for myself. I've really enjoyed it in one way, and in another way, I've hated every single minute of it. Because it was the hardest 8 weeks of my life.
2 months ago, Catherine set out to completely change her life.
Too much for you, Catherine.
A series of tests revealed she was heading for a future of major diseases and a predicted lifespan of just 59 years. 59 is far too young. A couple of days ago, the tests were repeated, and today I am here to tell her if she's made any difference to how long she lives. Good to see you. Thank you. The cholesterol was one thing that was slightly concerning because it was a little bit high. But through your hard work and your efforts and your changing your diet and your exercising and stopping smoking, you brought it down to a normal level. Your blood pressure, now that was on the high side.
Yeah.
You've changed it all around and your blood pressure is coming back to normal. So that's an excellent value, 78. We're really happy with that. And the body fat percentage was 36.3, a little bit on the high side, and that has come down to 33.9. Now, all of these things you've turned around. So, yes, you have increased your life expectancy. But how much? How much? Your life expectancy, with all of the changes you've made, compared to your previous lifestyle.
Will I be a little old woman?
Well, 88.
Get away! Take that off and flash it again. That was unbelievable. It's way, way, way better than I ever would have thought. I still can't believe it. Wow.
Indeed, wow. That is an increase of 29 years you have.
It's made it all worthwhile. Cool. All the sleepless nights, all the mood swings, all the emotions, just going crazy with giving up the cigarettes and the coffee. It's made it definitely worthwhile. My own gloves. I would have thought I was a happy person. I was, but I was probably a mental person. But now I'm definitely, naturally, just much, much happier. Cheers. Thanks, Mark.
There were times over the past couple of months when I really didn't think she was going to make it. But she has stuck to her guns and she's really pulled through. And now, hopefully, she's going to live a much longer and healthier life.
Now, I still have a long way to go. I'm not saying after 8 weeks I'm a completely different person. But definitely, there are major changes.
Now, when you think of stressful jobs, you might think about running around in an office or even my job in a hospital. But out here, farming is becoming increasingly stressful, which is why I'm here to try and help Michael here. It's 8 o'clock, and he's still at work. Hi, Michael.
Hey, Mark.
How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Good to see you. Michael Masterson's day started at 5 o'clock this morning.
I've been farming probably most of my life. It's become probably fairly tough the last couple of years. Prices have fallen. The margins aren't what they are, which probably adds to the stress of the whole thing, you know.
At 46 and with 5 children to support, over the last 5 years it's all been getting a bit much.
He's always tired. He's always rushing and racing, and he never has time to sit down for himself.
As well as his family and cows, he's committed to his local Midlands community. And once the working day ends, a new one begins.
Usually when I finish work at night, I'm going over to the pitch or something like that, you know, helping out at community games or with the football team or something like that.
He's involved in too many things, really. Michael can't say no to anyone.
With all of his work and local commitments, the pressure is beginning to build. He's not alone. 2/3 of Irish people have experienced stress, and if it's not managed properly, it can have a devastating effect on the body.
I probably do bottle it up. I was probably smiling at the outside, but inside I get pretty uptight at times, you know.
Stress is related to 80% of all major illnesses. I have to convince Michael to slow down before it's too late. Do you ever get some time off?
I actually haven't had a holiday in 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah, which is crazy.
And you've got kids as well, have they not?
Yeah, I've got 5 kids.
They've not been on holiday either?
They have with the mother, but without me.
You mean the rest of the family go on holiday?
Yeah, I'd probably stay at home.
And you don't?
Yeah.
Before I send Michael for a medical, I want him to start thinking seriously about stress. So I wanted to do a quick demonstration just to show you what stress can do, and I'm using something which you should know all about, milk. Just going to heat it up. And of course, we know what's going to happen. It's going to boil, and that basically is representing the stress that you have to have really every day just to get your work done. I mean, you have to get up really early in the morning, so that brings the milk up. That's the stress levels rising, and that's fine as long as you give yourself time to relax, unwind, let the stress level settle again. The thing with stress, which I think is possibly going to happen to you, is you just let that stress level build up until the inevitable happens. This is the sort of result something has to give. And we don't want that to be you. Sorry about making a mess. That's okay. It's the day of the medical, and Michael's keen to find out if anything's wrong.
Some people might say it's better not to know, but I don't agree with that. You know, I think the graveyards are full of those people who kind of the ostrich kind of a idea where you bury your head in the sand and hopefully everything will be all right, but that's crazy, really.
Today, Michael will get a complete once-over. His blood will be analysed and his body thoroughly examined inside and out.
Can you see the colour of that down there?
Yeah, it's green.
What does green mean?
It's good.
That's very good.
Okay.
Stress is a contributory factor for heart disease, various cancers and high blood pressure, so there's plenty to look for. It's a silent killer, and prolonged stress is like a time bomb.
This is the gallbladder coming into the picture here.
Once the damage is found, it's usually too late.
And both times get to breathe in and hold your breath.
I'm crossing my fingers that Michael's stress and hectic lifestyle have not done anything to his body.
Looking forward to getting all the results, the blood tests and all that, and see what's really going on inside, you know, because you really don't know what's happening until you get the bloods back.
That evening, Michael's back at work. It might have been a busy day, but the cows still need milking. Tomorrow, he will find out if anything is wrong. The blood results are back from the lab, and I've calculated Michael's life expectancy. I've got here the main points from the medical. The first one is there were a couple of blood tests that we did that were just very, very slightly abnormal. This may be something and nothing, and what we've done is we are sending them for further testing, and I'll get those results to you as soon as we can. Michael has raised iron levels, and some enzymes in the liver were slightly high. He might have hereditary hemochromatosis, a genetic condition that causes excess iron in the body. If left untreated, it can lead to liver failure. Your blood pressure is fine, it's certainly within the normal range, but this second value, it's 135/85. Once that starts to creep up towards 90 and above, then that's what we would describe as having high blood pressure. I'm worried that if he doesn't take steps to manage his stress, his resting blood pressure could go up. At 85, that doesn't leave much leeway.
Your body mass index, that's what BMI stands for. And that's really the amount of weight that you're carrying for your height. Right. Obviously, the taller you are, the more weight you're allowed to carry. And yours is at 30, which is... It's on the border between overweight and heading towards obese.
Right.
That does sound a bit harsh.
It does.
I mean, you look like quite a healthy man.
For his height, a weight of 93 kilograms means Michael is obese, a medical classification that is shared by 1 in 5 Irish people. It's not just the very fat that are increasing their risk of diabetes and heart disease.
What we did was tap all of these things into life expectancy calculators, and with your questionnaire results and with your medical results, your life expectancy at your current lifestyle comes out as 75. So it doesn't seem bad.
It doesn't seem great,
It doesn't seem bad. Well, it doesn't seem bad, actually. But one of the things that Dr. Kelly identified was your stress levels. He knows, and I know, that this can contribute to serious illness that you may not even see coming.
If Michael carries on as he is, he might live to the average age for an Irishman, but he could be facing debilitating disease and deteriorating mental health.
I want to find ways of helping you deal with your stress today so that you're not building up problems for the future.
My plan for the next 8 weeks is to encourage Michael to somehow get time off work and reduce his other commitments. I want him to learn to relax. He also needs to bring his weight down by improving his diet and increasing his exercise.
So it would seem that there are a few things that Michael needs to address over the next few months. One of the things is his weight, but more importantly is the stress levels in his life, because if he doesn't tackle those, he's just going to burn out.
Obese. They said I was obese. Now, I don't agree with that. If I'm obese, 80% of the country must be in serious trouble. There was one little thing possibly with my liver to have to recheck, and they thought my iron levels, my blood might be a bit high. Life expectancy is 75. I don't know, a bit disappointed with that too. 75, you know. I know lots of guys live to 75 and them drinking and smoking all their lives, you know. See how you go anyway.
It's the start of week 1 and Michael's struggling to find time to make any changes.
Going forward for the next. Just skip over them. Lean forward. That's it, good lad.
Tonight, after a 14-hour shift on the farm, there's a community games training session.
Go on!
To be followed by a committee meeting of the local GAA club.
That's the Ryder Cup weekend. We can't have it that weekend.
Yeah. That's we look for an overall sponsor. At running is that way.
If there's one person that can help Michael find ways of reducing his workload, it's time management expert Anne Coppins.
What I want to do with you today, Michael, is make a list of the commitments, all the things that you're involved in.
I'm treasurer of the local GA club, secretary of the community games. I'm involved in the circle club as well.
Within the first 2 items we had his full weekday evenings gone, plus the full day's work he's already put in from 5:30 that morning. So if you were to look at these, is there any that you would be happy to let go of at this point? Seeing it in writing, a lot of the time people realise, okay, there is something wrong, I've got to change something.
Writing it on paper is easy. Actually getting away from the farm may be more of a problem.
How real is it for you to keep working 24/7?
It's not realistic. Probably organising other people to come in and do the actual work for me is much more difficult than I would probably realise.
So is 1 weekend a month actually enough?
That's probably not, no.
By when do you think to have the full weekend?
Probably a month to 6 weeks.
It's on paper.
Okay, you're going to hold me to that?
I want to hold you to that.
Nice and steady.
It's Sunday and Michael's given himself most of the day off. After some vigorous exercise, there's time for the first Masterson family meal since Christmas.
It's more relaxed actually when everybody's around the table. I find it much more relaxed, isn't it? And everybody talks and they exchange ideas, and it's family time, I suppose, which is something that's getting very scarce.
On camera, look at that.
Michael started well, but a few days later something happens that no one could have predicted.
My father got a stroke during the week and it came as a big shock. He'd been so fit and he's working all year on the bog.
brought home all his turf, and next thing, bang, he would be okay. It wasn't a major stroke. I have to have a look at myself, really, I suppose, now. I'm always running a race and I haven't got a minute to do anything, to sit down. So it shows it all can change very, very fast, you know. 1 minute you're there and 1 minute you're gone.
Over the next few weeks, we will do everything we can to get Michael to slow down. But a lifetime of bad habits doesn't change overnight. Michael Masterson is a 46-year-old County Longford farmer who's working himself into an early grave.
I get pretty uptight at times, you know.
Last week his father had a stroke, and I'm worried if he can't change his stressed-out lifestyle, he may also become seriously ill. At the end of 8 weeks, he will have another medical to see if he's changed, how long he will live. It's week 3, and although Michael's still not worked out a way of taking the whole weekend off, he is managing Sundays. Today, the family have decided on a trip down the Shannon.
Farmers can tend to be set in their ways, and they don't. They're very slow to change, probably, you know. It's just a matter of just kind of clicking a switch in your head and saying, look, I'm going to do this, and that's it.
He's starting to hop on to himself a small bit. He's really starting to relax.
Social interaction reduces the level of cortisol in the body. It's a stress hormone that causes the body to store fat in areas that can then lead to heart disease. It may just be a boat trip, but Michael's finally taking positive steps to extend his life. Since he's surrounded by lakes, my plan for Michael was to take him fishing. But he looked at me in absolute horror. I think it must have been the thought of all that sitting around. But he has to find regular ways to relax. So I thought he could try Hapkido, a Korean martial art that includes a focus on spiritual well-being. So Michael, how's the de-stressing of your life going?
Hasn't gone too well, actually. My father got a stroke. It wasn't a major stroke, but I suppose it's a wake-up call to us all, really, you know.
This is what happens, you know, you cannot predict what's going to happen in life, and it's extra stress. And that's what we're aiming towards. It's going to be a gradual thing, you know. We're not just going to suddenly de-stress your life, everything's going to be fine. It's a gradual build-up and learn in little ways just to take, you know, some of the edge off the stress. So should we have a go at this?
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
What we do here in the Hapkido science class is basically work on developmental stretching, the de-stressing, getting in plenty of oxygen into the lungs and to the muscles. If you don't develop your breathing properly, this is when a lot of problems can happen. You'll cause a lot of shallow breathing as opposed to deep breathing, and that can bring on stress in itself.
Just concentrating on what I was doing, actually, which is strange because usually I have 101 things running around in my head. But when I was doing the relaxation there, I found that I would just concentrate on that.
If Michael can find the time to do something like this, it will really help with managing his stress.
Actually, I do feel totally relaxed, and it's long since I felt like that, funny enough. I just realised that now I haven't felt that in a long, long time. So it's really worth it.
Given his relaxed state, I thought it was worth giving my initial plan another try.
So Michael, are you sure I can't tempt you with fishing?
No. I don't think so.
I tried.
It's week 4. There's still no sign of a full weekend off, and Michael's Sunday afternoon has been cut short by his duties as the local GAA treasurer.
Gaelic football is part of rural Ireland, you know, the local club, everything revolves around it, and there's no way you can miss a game.
Although I would never suggest Michael give up all his commitments, I am concerned that he might be slipping back. A few stress-free hours a week is not enough. It is time to bring back stress expert Anne Coppins.
In talking to you on a regular basis, I feel you have a lot of worries that keep coming back. A lot of stressed people worry needlessly. They worry about everything, like the weather, like the cows, like things they actually can't change. So what I'd like you to do is go into a new technique, and every time you worry, you take a stone out of the jar and put it on the plate. It's really questioning your thinking and saying, can I do anything about it, or is it a useless worry?
Is it out of my hands?
Exactly. This exercise is very effective because it's a visual thing. What did you worry about?
If something happens to me, what happens to the family, you know?
You see how many times a day you're actually thinking those worry thoughts.
A couple of cows not gone in calf. I suppose the weather, it's the overdraft. My father said, wife wants an extension, that's a worry.
And it's actually one of those very common things that drives people's stress through the roof. By the end of the 8 weeks, I would expect the plate to be a lot emptier than at the beginning.
I'm going to try and stick to it. You know, because all these worries going around your head, they're really drawing your energy. They're silly things, really. And I think it's a very good exercise. It's really worth doing.
A week later, Michael's having problems with Anne's worry stones.
It would be okay if you're sitting at an office and if you're on the farm, you're out and about all the time. And I tried it, there's just stones going everywhere. I had stones in one pocket and stones in another pocket. And I'd actually think it was giving me more stress than actually helping me.
A few days later, Michael develops his own worry-busting technique.
Every time a negative thought comes into my head now, I think of something positive. Think of the kids, maybe think of a football match. Sharon Stone, maybe something like that, you know.
Learning to deal with anxiety is a major breakthrough, but I wanted to test his progress. The man I first met would have never agreed to what I have planned today. To be honest, I'm not sure how this fishing thing is going to go. In fact, I'm not even sure Michael's going to turn up. I'm looking forward to it, though.
No, I'm not really looking forward to go fishing. And standing or sitting in the one place for an hour or so, it doesn't really suit me, quite honestly. I get a very hard sit down for 5 minutes, never mind 1 hour.
Hi, Michael.
How are you doing?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
You too.
This is Bernie.
Bernie,
Michael.
Nice to meet you, Michael.
Nice to meet you now.
Okay.
So Bernie's a very experienced fisherman. He's going to show us the ropes.
Okay.
Are you ready for it?
Oh, we'll see what happens.
That's better. Lightning, keep the eye on the float, pulls it down again. You have a fish, yes. Good man, Mike. Congratulations. Your first cast, and you got a fish.
He's huge.
He's not big, but he's a lovely little roach. There must be some kind of a record there. I'll tell you what happened there, Mark. That's a great cast. That's pretty good. Whoop. Now, hard look. Listen.
Where'd that go?
Now, don't reel in too much. Keep your rod tipped down a bit.
What started out as having to twist Michael's arm has actually turned into something he seems to be enjoying. He's not even listening to me, he's just completely engrossed in what he's doing. I think we might be on to a winner.
No.
So how's your relaxing and unwinding going, Michael?
I actually find it quite relaxing, you know.
I just wanted to demonstrate to you that, you know, again, it's just about balancing the stress. It's that old milk thing that I showed you when we first met, that whatever it is that's stressing you and keeping the heat on and boiling that milk, it's just important that you find something that helps you turn it off and let everything cool down again so you can get back into the fray, which is difficult to do but not impossible.
No, you just make it, you just organise yourself and make it. Because, you know, it's brilliant being down here, there's no noise in the background. Just listen to the silence, really.
Well, maybe we should just do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm surprised how much I enjoyed today. The peace and quiet, and the fact that I caught quite a few fish, I suppose, helped.
Seems to be a few nice fish in it, Mark.
That's pretty good. Yeah. I'm really surprised. After our day of fishing, I could definitely see Michael has turned a corner, and the move towards a healthier, more relaxed lifestyle just keeps building. Trips to the gym have become a regular fixture, and he's even started a weekly yoga session.
It's fitting, and he plays with us more.
Giving up a soccer team has also left more time for the family and his marriage. His wife is delighted.
Yes, I am very proud of him. He's done great. He has done absolutely brilliant. He's delighted now because everybody's coming up telling him that how brilliant he looks.
He's still not managed a full weekend off, but there's been one major breakthrough. He's actually started to enjoy his work.
This is my favourite spot on the whole farm. It's just, so you come up here and see the views, you can see 5 different counties. It kind of keeps you in your place. And we've all the worries in the world, and then you come up here and see this, and it really we don't really how lucky we are to living in the countryside. So maybe farming isn't all bad, really.
Today I'll see Michael for the last time. Two months ago he was heading for a burnout. A medical revealed he was borderline obese, and overwork and stress were threatening to wreck his future health. Despite his father having a stroke, he has worked really hard. And yesterday the tests were repeated. He's about to find out if he's added any years to his life.
The result should be good, because I feel way fitter. They said I'd live to 75. I'm hoping to add 10 to that at least.
Now, one of the things we did pick up on your original medical was slightly high iron levels, and there was a concern that might be linked to a disease called hemochromatosis, which is a disease that affects how you store iron. And the good news is that you don't have hemochromatosis. Your body mass index, the weight that you have for your height, was 30, and you've dropped 2 points in 8 weeks to 28.
It's pretty high.
I mean, for 8 weeks to drop 2 BMI points, so you should actually feel very proud of yourself for doing that. That's brilliant. Now, your wellbeing questionnaire, of course, that is one of the main things I think we wanted to try and help you with. You know, we've been doing all these changes over the last 8 weeks. You've done the questionnaire again, and you got 97.
Yeah, that's a big change.
That's a huge change. How has this impacted on your life expectancy? Well, it was 75 before, which is not bad. You know, that's average, but it was certainly something you wanted to improve on.
Definitely,
you want to be a happy old man, and you have changed that from 75 to 84. It's fantastic.
That's great.
You've added another 9 years on.
Life is very precious, and to get 9 extra years is fantastic.
Not only have you added 9 years to your life, I think the chances are now that you can live to be a happy, healthy older man.
9 more years with your grandchildren, with your wife, you know, with your own kids. It was really a challenge. I was kind of battling with myself, you know. Yeah. It was kind of, can I get out of this rut that I'm stuck in?
You set yourself that
Set myself that goal. I was kind of battling within myself, and I won it.
You've won. You've won. Yeah. Well done, Michael.
I have to say it was hard at the start. It was hard. There's no point in going saying it's easy. You know, you have to put an effort in, especially probably when you're mid-40s.
I did want to give you just a little token. Our time together.
I suppose the biggest change I've made is I'm not as stressed as I was. Little things don't nag me anymore. Every time there's a problem, I just let it float by, you know. That's great, Mark.
That is just to help you relax.
Gone fishing, eh?
Exactly. You got your own fish.
The butterflies aren't that big around here.
I'm absolutely delighted with what Michael's managed to achieve in the past 8 weeks. The way he's tackled his stressful lifestyle in the middle of a family crisis is no mean feat. But now, when he's adopted all these new habits, I think Michael Mark II is going to look forward to a much happier and healthier life.
My wife tends to snap at me now because I'm so laid back. You know, so I have to try and de-stress her. That's the next challenge.
Tonight I'm in Athlone to meet up with John Keane. He's 21, he suffers from Crohn's disease, and he's finding it hard to match his student lifestyle with a healthy life. Crohn's is a disease that affects the digestive system, and John Keane suffers from regular bouts of cramps, fever, and severe diarrhoea.
I was diagnosed with Crohn's about 3.5 years ago now, I'd say. I reckon I had it longer than that, but just it took me a while to go and do anything about it.
Crohn's disease causes tissues that line the digestive system to become inflamed, and for John, it all came to a head last year. Fed up with having the disease, he stopped taking his medication, with disastrous consequences.
I had to have part of my intestine removed because it was punctured. Like, I was close to death, apparently, so that would give you kind of a kick.
Crohn's disease can strike anybody at any age, but it most often appears in the late teens. It's been linked to a faulty gene, but its exact cause is currently unknown. There is no cure, but the disease can be managed by steroids and a healthy lifestyle.
Drinking would be a big problem of mine. Wouldn't say a problem.
After his scare last year, he did quite well and turned himself around. Probably not as well as maybe he should have done.
I realise I'm slipping back into a routine that isn't good for me at all.
It's not just beer that's affecting his health. He may be off college for the summer, but back in Athlone, the hectic lifestyle of socialising, part-time work and music continue. This summer, he's also rehearsing a play that will tour around Ireland. It's a busy life that leaves little time to be healthy.
Can we get a smack on the head as well?
And my diet now consists of chicken, pita bread and potato croquettes, and all frozen foods, which is terrible.
I've got 8 weeks before he goes back to college in Sligo to convince him to start making his health his #1 priority.
You're a monster!
How dare you hate me!
And fade out.
Before I send John for a medical, I want to make sure he's fully aware of his condition. John, I just wanted to use these drafts to give you a rough idea of what happens in your normal immune system and what happens with Crohn's disease. Okay. So we've got the white drafts here, and that represents the cells of the immune system, and normally what they do is they will identify things like viruses, bacteria, infections, and they would attack them and then dispose of them and get rid of them. But what happens with something like Crohn's disease is that it identifies the body's own cells as hostile and foreign, so then the immune cells will actually attack the body's own cells. Finally, I wanted to show John the damage Crohn's disease can inflict on the gut. In extreme cases, the intestines can become blocked by scar tissue or infected. For his general health, John has to try to limit the effects of the disease as much as possible.
The scar here, that's from the surgery. Do you have any problems with it now?
No, everything seems to be in good enough shape anyway, yeah.
I'm just going to check your tummy here now, see if there's any soreness. Okay. Any pain there?
Crohn's disease should not be having an impact on the rest of his body, but his lifestyle might. So today, he's getting a complete check, inside and out.
Your lung age is that of a 28-year-old.
Right.
At his age, I think it's unlikely that his lifestyle has caused permanent damage, but what will show up in today's tests are all the problems he might be storing up for the future.
This is the gallbladder, it's full of fluid.
Now, in a couple of minutes, I'm just going to ask you to breathe in and hold your breath.
About another 15 seconds. Okay.
Bad habits today can lead to major health problems tomorrow.
You feeling alright?
I didn't realise I was that unfit, like. I thought I'd be able to do more than that. Just goes to show you now, you think you're alright.
You're listening to Radio Cure this sunny Thursday afternoon. If you were at Oxygen, let us know how you got on.
The next day, John is back in Athlone. He's still waiting for the results of the medical, but his proposed lifestyle change is the talk of the town.
Basically, in an drastic attempt to change my lifestyle, I'll find out how long my current lifestyle will allow me to live, and then hopefully try and change it around.
Will John live beyond next week? Yes or no to 086 1939 500.
The tests are now complete, and I've come to John's summer job to give him the results. It's time to get serious. His lifestyle is taking years off his life. The first thing, did you know that you are red-green vision deficient?
I had an inkling, alright, because my brother was tested for it because he's going to cadets, and I think he's red-green deficient as well. So
that would make sense, because it is known to be hereditary. Yeah. John is partially colourblind, and although this will affect his choice of career, it won't affect his life expectancy. We did lots of blood tests, and they've all come out, most of them have come out pretty good. However, one of the blood tests did show quite a high urate level, and what that is related to is, one of the conditions it can be related to is something called gout. And gout is, it's when little tiny crystals that are shaped like needles get deposited in joints, and usually starts off in the big toe. His high urate level could be genetic, and although it does not mean he will get gout, it is something he should keep an eye on. A healthier lifestyle will help. Now, your body mass index is really the weight that you have for your height. Obviously, a taller person can carry more weight, and the normal value, or the preferred value, should be between sort of 21 and 25. Right. And yours is 27, so it's only a little bit over. Yeah. John is 13 stone 10 pounds, or 87 kilograms, which for his height makes him overweight. Now, what we did was type all of the results from the medical
all the questions that you answered in the questionnaire, and we put it into life expectancy calculators.
Okay.
So at your present state, your life expectancy comes out as 68.
Yeah, I must have been shocked. I wasn't expecting to be at all. 68 isn't what I thought I'd be a little bit older than that.
John is set to die 7 years before the national average for an Irishman. His unhealthy lifestyle is not just exacerbating his Crohn's disease, it's also taking years off his life.
I can see you're worried now, but this is just from this point.
Yeah,
This is before. I think we're going to have a pleasant surprise afterwards.
Over the next 8 weeks, I want John to cut down on his drinking and try and increase his activity. Most importantly, I want him to take a serious look at his eating habits and improve his diet.
It's kind of hit home because 68 isn't that old. I know a lot of people that are 68 and I wouldn't consider them old.
It's week 1, and it was time to rescue John from his vegetable-free life by enlisting the help of nutrition expert Margot Brennan.
Today I thought we'd put you in the kitchen and get you cooking something that's quick but very nutritious.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so what I thought we'd do is we do an omelette.
Right.
And really you can use anything. Oh.
Right.
Okay, you haven't done this very often.
No.
So John, this is, and then you're going to put a little bit of
Her mission today is to convince John that vegetables are nothing to be scared of.
and the dark green leafy vegetables like spinach and cabbage and those. This is useful in terms of your calcium intake as well.
The nutrients contained in vegetables are vital for the body to function properly, and they are doubly important to someone who suffers from Crohn's disease. It beggars belief that he's about to try many of them for the first time in his life.
So you wouldn't traditionally eat things like peppers?
Not really, no.
Right.
I've never really eaten them. I just pick them off because I don't like the look of them on the pizza.
Just great. So that literally just took pretty much 5 minutes.
5 minutes,
to 5 minutes to prepare ahead of time. The perception is that it takes ages to
That's
to
it,
cook,
yeah, to
and it
prepare the
doesn't.
veg, but it took no time at all. Like. Hey.
That's good, well done.
Not too bad.
Great.
I suppose there's nothing else to do now but
Eat it.
Eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy the way the omelette went. Like it's my first time to do it, and like to use all that the vegetables like mushrooms, peppers that I've never eaten before for reasons unknown.
Well, what's the verdict?
It's not too bad actually. Yeah, yeah, I'm happy with the way it went, and I reckon I could be making a few more of them now. I'm really surprised. Peppers taste really good.
A few days later, John's back to his summer job at his brother's pub.
No, 380 please.
After all he's learnt this week, he's finally starting to think about the future.
I suppose what I want most out of this programme is just to be able to, I suppose, get up in the morning and just be full of energy, because at the minute it's not there at all. I think I'm going to pull myself together now, because if I don't, the alternative is that I will be severely sick for the rest of my life.
John Keane is a 21-year-old marketing student from Athlone who suffers from Crohn's disease, an incurable condition that affects the lining of the gut.
I was diagnosed with Crohn's about 3.5 years ago. I had to have part of my intestine removed.
His love of bad food and drink is making the symptoms of his disease worse and giving him a life expectancy of just 68.
I know a lot of people that are 68 and I wouldn't consider them old.
We've got 8 weeks before he goes back to college in Sligo to add the years back onto his life. It's week 2.
So, John, I heard last week that you had a red pepper for the first time in your life.
Yeah.
And how was it?
It's fantastic.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was brilliant, yeah.
Well, that's the diet side of things, and today I want to look at the activity side of things. I want to get that increased in your life, and with so much water where you live here in Athlone, I thought we'd have a go at sailing. Have you ever tried that before?
No, never before.
If I have any chance of persuading John to reduce his visits to the pub, I need to find something else he might enjoy. I'm hoping today will spark an interest in water sports.
Okay, take that up.
I know that John's got a busy life, but if he can manage to fit an activity like this into it, then he can be healthier, happier and better able to cope with whatever life throws at him.
Anything that gets John out of breath will be good for his health, and just 30 minutes activity each day will halve his relative risk of death.
So you've never done anything like this before?
No, the closest I got to this now is rowing, I suppose.
One of the great things about sailing is you'll get days like today where there's a little bit of wind but not much, where it's very much just a nice relaxing day out.
Leisure sailing.
A leisure sail, and then you get days where it's a little bit windier, a little bit breezier, and it makes the heart pump a little bit, and the old adrenaline start going around.
Well, that's what we need.
John seemed to be really enjoying it, and I wondered if his new diet was already making him feel better.
It's still quite early, but have you noticed any changes yet?
Not really, because I haven't really been able to sit down and go, I feel good now.
Yeah.
Like, but,
well, I suppose the main thing is as long as you don't feel bad.
That's it, yeah.
As long as if we keep the relapses of the Crohn's at bay, then you're laughing.
It's week 3.
This is my dressing room for the play.
After our good start, all attempts at a healthy lifestyle have gone out the window.
Outlandish.
The play that John's been rehearsing has gone on tour, and John's finding it hard to implement the good habits he's learnt.
Sick.
Well, the temptation of having a drink after the play is as strong as ever. Stressful enough, which isn't helping anything. I'm broke. Very tired as well. I've been living on made-up rolls from shops, and that I've got to go to Electric Picnic in a couple of weeks as well, which I'm trying to save for, and that's going to be one hell of an unhealthy buzz, I'm sure.
If John's serious about reducing the impact of Crohn's and living longer, he's going to have to find a way of fitting healthy habits into his busy life. We're a month in, and it's time to send back nutrition expert Margot Brennan. Today she's going to show John how to avoid the processed foods he loves and shop healthily.
We need to bear in mind he's a student, he's obviously on a tight budget, and time and preparation is something that we need to bear in mind when we're thinking about foods we're buying for him. So even if you bought, we'd say, one of these for the week.
A healthy diet is doubly important for John. Crohn's is an inflammatory bowel disease that affects the lining of the gut, and his inflamed intestines don't absorb nutrients as well as they should. If he's not careful, he could become short of what his body needs to stay healthy.
So this one here has added calcium.
Calcium is a particular problem for John, as like many sufferers of Crohn's, he is also lactose intolerant.
As somebody with Crohn's disease, you've got a very high requirement for calcium, but you also have the added disadvantage that you can't take dairy products. So we need to look at other sources of calcium in your diet.
There are shelves and shelves of food that John's been avoiding for years, and Margot has to convince him that there's no need to be scared of food that doesn't come wrapped in plastic.
One of the things there's a lot of research into at the moment around inflammatory bowel disease are omega-3s.
Right.
And this is a certain type of oil that's found in oily fish. So it's something that may actually help to reduce the inflammation in the bowel, and obviously that's really what you're after.
I wouldn't know fresh fish if it hit me in the face.
It's hard for him to change habits overnight, but I think if he picks 1 or 2 things a week and sticks to that, I think that certainly will be much better in the long term for him.
Okay, thanks so much. See you now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It's week 5, and although John's trying hard, I'm worried that he's yet to really make the leap and view healthy habits as part of his routine.
I suppose it's rubbish not to be drinking when all my friends are drinking away in front of me, but so this is a choice I made, and I have to stick with it,
And it's not only the drink that it's hard to say goodbye to.
This is my favourite part of the shop, and frozen food, well, it was my favourite part of the shop. Potato croquettes, I absolutely love. Garlic bread, spicy wedges. What student doesn't know about pot noodles, like beef burgers, chicken and ham pies, Coke noodles as well, quarter pounders, frozen pizzas, crispy pancakes. I was just notorious for eating them.
But he is beginning to venture into new areas of the supermarket, and the omelette has now become something of a speciality.
I wouldn't call myself a pepper expert as much as a connoisseur of peppers.
In 2 days' time, he'll be going to Electric Picnic, a 3-day music festival. His new healthy lifestyle is about to get its biggest test.
Well, just got back from the Electric Picnic yesterday. Feel a bit rubbish at the minute. I brought a lot of drink. I was aware opening every can on the campsite and getting another pint or a bottle of wine in the arena that that I'm going to suffer for this. I'm just wrecked. I just need to sleep for like another 48 hours and I'll be okay, I promise.
After 6 long weeks, I'm worried John may be losing his motivation. I'm not expecting him to be some sort of health monk. I just want to help him realise that if he is generally healthy, his body will be better able to cope with the occasional minor indiscretion. In a week's time, John will be going back to college in Sligo, and I need to start focusing his mind not on what he's doing wrong, but what he can do right.
I know you do cycle around when you go to work and you're back and things like that, that actually you can take it a little bit further, and as well as being handy transport, it is an excellent way of just keeping fit.
Cycling for 20 minutes or more is an excellent workout for the muscles, heart and lungs, and can burn off as many as 700 calories in an hour.
Did you have a bell there?
Lovely bell.
Check out the bell.
I also want John to start thinking about the long term. We've only got 2 weeks left, and I'm worried he still thinks healthy living is a bit of a chore.
Now, I heard a rumour, John, that you weren't quite the health fanatic recently. You went to Electric Picnic, is that right?
Yeah, I did indeed.
Enjoy it?
Too much.
Good. I'm really pleased to hear it. That's, you see, some people get, I think, the wrong impression that having a healthy, active lifestyle means that everything that you do has to be health approved and health stamped. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think letting your hair down, having a blast is essential. I like the idea of everything in moderation, including moderation.
All right.
So do you want to work off your weekend then?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay.
Well, you got to work it off harder than that.
After a summer of trying his hardest to live more healthily, John started his new term in Sligo.
Yeah, what? So you're cycling in the gym or you got your own bike?
Oh yeah, I've been cycling all summer, like.
Yeah?
Yeah. Haven't had the money for public transport. Actually, so I have no choice.
Fair enough.
The next few months will be a real test, but he's determined that a return to student life won't mean a return to an unhealthy life.
I have a sandwich for lunch and have to go back to college, so I suppose before I would have just gone to the canteen or gone into town. My friends would maybe get a takeaway or that in the evening times, but I just happily now I suppose just say no. Like so I can't remember the last time I actually had a takeaway. Now that I think about it, I'm unconscious of it because I just I don't think about it anymore. Like
2 months ago, John's unhealthy lifestyle was exacerbating his Crohn's disease and shortening his life.
Your life expectancy comes out as 68.
His medical tests have now been repeated, and tomorrow he will get the results.
I haven't been a good boy all the time. It's been hard, like, I won't bother lying about it, but for the most part now I've tried.
Today I will tell John whether he's added any years to his life. But first I want to know if his healthier lifestyle has reduced the flare-ups of his Crohn's disease.
Hi John.
Hey Mark, how's it going?
Very good, how you doing? Thanks. First of all, I just want to check and see how you're feeling personally about changes that you've made over the last 8 weeks.
The changes I've made have really affected me. Like I haven't had a flare-up in about 5 weeks, which is one of the main things that I was hoping for from this.
Do you have a better understanding of Crohn's now as well, do you think?
I suppose I do. I know like the changes I've made have really affected it, so I'm just very happy with those, you know.
One of the things that we tested at the beginning and at the end is your well-being questionnaire, and it was 73, and that's gone up to 82. So you're certainly a brighter, sparkier person since then. Now your lung age at the beginning was 28, and with a bit of exercise and just improving your activity levels, you brought that down to 23. Your body mass index, which is the weight that you have for your height, you've lost a little bit of weight and you brought that down to 26. We'd prefer it to be under 25, but the thing with you, when you do have a flare-up, you can lose weight quite quickly, so it's like a comfort zone.
Yeah.
A little bit of extra cushioning. So overall, what we've done is put the medical and all the other questionnaire aspects into the life expectancy, and initially it was 68.
Yeah.
It is now, building the suspense,
84.
Nice one.
That is a nice one. That's a very significant change, I think.
Yeah, 16 extra years. I don't know what it'll mean. I suppose I can get older and grumpier, and give out about the kids, grandkids, great-grandkids and stuff like that.
Do you think that these changes that you've made, they can be sustainable?
But the changes I made were the ones that really fit in to what I was doing, like for the summer and back in college, and they were easily done. And now I've kind of, I suppose, conditioned myself to this is how it is. You know, I can do a lot more. Like, so I expect if you come back maybe in 6 months, it could be up even higher. When you start seeing changes, it kind of eggs you on a bit. Like, you know, well, if I can keep doing this for another 2 weeks and then see how I am, and then at the end of those 2 weeks, it's like, oh great, I'm getting better and better.
As well as the gift of an extra 16 years to your life expectancy, just a little reminder of your time on the show and all the changes that you've made.
Okay.
Little engraved.
My first veg in 2006.
You'll be forever known as the Pepper Man.
Thanks.
You're welcome. It's important to remember that John still has to manage Crohn's disease for the rest of his life. We haven't made the disease go away, but hopefully lay the foundations for a longer and healthier life. And I'm positive that John feels a lot better today than when we first met.
I don't get cramps anymore, and I don't feel as tired. And I know that's down to the changes that have been made. And I just think, well, why can't I just keep doing it? And I will.